or not? Hold up.
Okay, I think it's gone now.
Does it count? It is count.
Man.
Motionless.
Except there's frozen little green lights on the Caden channel.
Because he's not making noises.
Why would there be any green lights?
I don't hear anything, by the way.
Say words.
You don't hear anything?
No.
Maybe your gain is all funked?
Here, is that Mo better?
I still don't hear anything.
What about that?
Oh, his is way down.
I started to hear it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mo better? Now?
Yeah, that's good.
Alright.
This is just going to be a podcast where every week we try and figure out audio equipment for 45 minutes.
That was the first 4 episodes we dropped, wasn't it?
This has been every episode. Liv's
Yeah.
last episode.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Freaking Colin boost today. That's today, right?
Do you guys want dark cast or light cast?
I don't give a shit.
This is fine.
Yeah.
This ain't podcast. This isn't Wokecast After Dark.
That's true. Even though it technically is.
2020 AD.
I really think we should have like a live stream where people can call in.
Hello, caller.
Dude,
Uh-huh.
Once we get this PC set up, we can do it. From
Hell
here,
yeah.
In the studio.
Hell
In the stew.
yes.
Captain Lular in the hizzy.
Dude, Caden is one of the top 5 dumbest people that I know.
Why?
So, first off,
Actually, that can't be true.
why?
Because I can think of at least 5 people dumber than him.
I mean,
I can too.
when we were doing the rankings, at that time, you said that Caden was the bottom.
That's true. You did
that
put
you
me
just-
at the very bottom.
Was that
Yeah,
is that
what were
something
you,
you're
like,
revising?
16?
No,
I
it was
was
like 19. 19.
Oh, I'm still 19.
I mean, are you revising that? Are you saying he's improved, or are you saying that we just didn't include dumber people than Caden on the list?
Oh, I'm saying, well, I don't know. Yes, possibly improvements.
Mhm.
I haven't given him an intelligence quotient,
Yeah.
but
I thought those things were
no,
not good.
But we did not include all the dumbs in the world.
I don't really think I give people intelligent quotients. I go around rating people more by like dumbass quotients. Like by default, it's not like I assume everybody's smart, but I don't really have a lot of opinion about somebody. But then, someone can't establish themselves as like definitely an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to kind of keep track of that. But yeah, so, hold off on saying that he's not the dumbest until you've heard this recounting of events.
Okay.
This
You were there
wasn't
for the
my
beginning.
fault.
It was a little bit your fault. So we started out here, and it's like, you need to have a USB drive. Why? For a computer that you're building that you can't use tonight.
Why can't I use it?
Because you don't have a graphics card. It's a gaming computer.
Yeah, but I mean, I could use it as a computer.
To do what? You have a computer.
Yeah, but I don't have a Windows computer. So, like, all of my Streamlabs stuff
Uh-huh.
can only be done off of Windows.
This stuff will barely even start up without a graphics card.
Yeah, but I mean...
You don't even have a webcam.
Yeah, but I don't need that to fix... I'm talking about, like, alerts and, like, that type of shit.
All
Like, setting up that.
So he needs a USB drive tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, also, this is after we had to educate him about the basics of how to use a USB drive to set up his computer. Okay, so he figures this out, and he needs me to cart him over to Walmart because he doesn't know how to drive yet.
That's...
Another point against
That
him.
is not true to
So-
the story.
We're like, okay, where are we going? And he's like, right at the second light. And I'm like, okay. We're going to like Walmart or something? Yeah, Walmart. And I was like, okay. And so we start driving, and then he's like, go left here. And I was like, okay.
Wait.
And he's like, go right in 3 lights. And then
No,
we
no,
go
no.
past one street, and he's like, it was that street. Shoot, now it says do a U-turn. I'm like, okay. So I do a U-turn. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go on that road. And he's like, now it says go back to where we came from the beginning. And I was like, okay, are we just going to the Walmart by Bangerter? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I just know how to get there. So I'm just going to go there now. So I start driving in that direction. And then, like, I started thinking, I was like, wait a second. Wasn't Caden earlier talking about the neighborhood market?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, is it the Walmart by Bangerter or is the Walmart the neighborhood market? And he's like, neighborhood market. And I was like, that one's not by Bangerter. And he's like, oh, is that Mountain View? And I said, yes.
Jeez. See, I feel like that's the difference between children now who don't know the pain of having to print out turn-by-turn directions from Google.
Mm-hmm. Or just needing a map.
Yeah, but...
Which we caught the tail end of.
Yeah, it's cool living in the future, but at the same time, it's like... It was like sink or swim back in the day. It was like, if your mom's like, okay, go to this place, you're going to turn right on Gosford and then left on California. And if it's like, you haven't been paying attention when she's chauffeuring your ass, it's like, you're just out of luck.
Yep. Oh, Coffee and Gosford are the same street?
Oops
For you.
Yep, there's like 20 of them in Bakersfield. Callaway turns into Old River.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of dumb crap like that.
Oh, and then Caden, we get up to the door and Caden's like, oh, I don't have a mask. And I was like, all right, well, here's a mask for you. And he's like, do they have them inside?
Wait, what do you mean?
How am I supposed to know?
Wait, what do you?
Am I a Walmart reader?
Mask dispenser?
I didn't ask that.
Yeah, you did.
No way.
Okay, then what were you asking when you were like, aren't they just like in there in the entrance?
Oh no,
do they have masks there for me?
No, I was just thinking out loud, and I said I think they normally have them by the cash register. If I
Question
remember
mark,
right.
Ryan, do they?
No, and then I was like, so it should be fast.
Ryan,
I was just like,
what
thinking
aisle
out loud,
are they
explaining
on?
them.
Well, I don't know. You're gonna have to ask the people in there.
Let the record show I did not ask any of these questions.
You asked the first one.
No, I was just like, I'm pretty sure they normally have them by the cash registers, so it should be fast. But I did not have a mask.
You should have had Google Maps take you to the correct aisle.
Dude, Google Maps freaking sucks. That's what I was trying to get us to take to Walmart, and I showed Ryan my phone.
Yeah. I mean, I use Google Maps just to check because Caden's like, yeah, Google Maps doesn't work. So then I like typed in Walmart, and it's like, do you mean neighborhood market or do you mean the big one? And I was like, neighborhood market. And he's like, oh, okay, this one. So I don't know.
I had neighborhood market on. But I told Ryan, this isn't the first time. Like my third day of work at Amazon, it didn't work. And it like took me into like some residential area.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, mine's wigged out before.
Probably user error, but
it's not.
I'm not so sure that if I'm going to say like, is Caden wrong or is Google wrong?
Dude, Google 100%. Google is the devil.
No, about 100%.
I'm not saying Google's always right, but I would say like 80 times out of 100, you're going to be wrong.
Yeah, but this was a 20.
All right. All I know is I only had my experience of you directing me all kinds of directions. Also, my registration's expired because I'm a brave rebel. And Caden's original directions like had us looping around the police station like 3 times.
Just doing donuts.
For real, it was
Catch
like
me if you can.
The place where he's like, okay, turn here. It's like into the police station parking lot. It's like, is there no other way to get there?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all right. We just got to make it big in the podcasting world so that we can give Caden a productive job to do.
Were we really around the police station?
Yes, dude. That's the place where you were like, turn here. That's a police station right there because it's across the street from the gym.
What's going on over there, dude?
Well, at the time, he was getting so frustrated because he couldn't figure out how to use his phone that he's owned for years.
Jeez.
So I was like, what are you doing? And he was, I don't know.
How do we mute this kid?
This is so the funniest shit I've ever heard.
It's not. It really isn't.
I don't know. So I was trying to, well, I don't actually listen to the whole thing. I was trying to hear one of the places where he muted him last time.
Yeah.
or a couple times ago.
Yeah, when you put me on timeout.
Yeah, I don't
really?
think you were muted. I don't think so.
Well,
it's probably just like
because
voice shrapnel.
Yeah,
no,
hitting our
because
microphones.
Yeah, because I was gonna say my mic didn't work.
That's more better.
No one can hear you anyway. Everyone complains about your levels.
That's because I didn't have a mic last time.
I can hear some kind of rat noise.
It's gross, dude.
Damn. I haven't laughed that hard in a minute.
Hell yeah.
I had no idea you were right by it.
Yeah, the whole time I was like, I don't know. I really should have just sent you with the keys.
It should be noted that I told him, I said, this isn't normally the way I go, but Google Maps is saying go this way, so whatever. I did tell you that at that first light.
Does that have to do more with Google Maps or how you entered it in?
I can pull up my recents and it'll say what I logged in.
All right. No, that's okay. I believe you. Freak. All right. So what else is new? What is happening in the world?
The Lakers just won.
Hell yeah.
So
LeBron's fourth.
Yeah.
We watched it.
Back on top of the world.
And how many is it now the Lakers have won? Like
17.
17?
17, yeah.
Oh, damn.
They're tied with the Celtics now.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to asterisk a few of the Celtics titles because...
Like 11 of them?
Yeah. Like everybody always talks about Bill Russell being cool. And they're like, Bill Russell won 8 championships and stuff. And I'm like, there were 8 teams in the league. You had to beat 2 people to get to get a trophy.
Yeah.
Not to mention he was the tallest dude in the league. He was the only dude above 6 foot back then.
Yeah.
That's the thing where it's like Wilt Chamberlain was cool in some ways, really cool in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
But also when you're the only 8 foot tall person.
Yeah.
And back then it's like average height was like 5'2" in the world.
Yeah.
And 80% of the guys in the NBA at that time were white.
Yeah, I just don't think that I think that we are becoming more powerful as a species because like you think, like I remember one time I asked my dad and I was like, who are the strong kids? Because my dad played football in high school for some reason. And I was like, the strong kids, what were they doing? He's like, oh man, if you could bench 200, you were strong. And it's like, dude, I knew dudes who could bench like 500.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yep.
I mean, there was a ton of steroids there, but
I was about to say roids is more popular.
It's not just steroids, though. I mean,
it's not. Yeah, I think it's just access to information.
I think it's partly that, like powerlifting totals, like records for a long time that were set in like the 70s, 80s, were just not being matched, which is really weird to me because it was like late 80s, 90s, aughts. No one was stronger than that, which is really weird. So it's like, did they just mess up in how they measured it? What was that? But then now they're all smashed. It's like as soon as powerlifting got somewhat popular.
I think it was probably a lack of participants. Because,
yeah, probably.
I mean, I don't think it was that cool. I mean, once being gigantic faded out in like the late 80s,
yeah,
it's like nobody's trying to do that anymore.
That's true.
And then it became cool again in the early 2000s. I used to watch the World's Strongest Man competitions back in the day.
Hell yeah, dude. Freaking Mariusz Pudzianowski.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just watch these monsters. Isn't Mariusz Pudzianowski like a midget? Is he the tiny one?
I don't think so. I thought he was like 6'1".
Oh, yeah, that's the midget then.
Oh, compared to them.
Yeah, because everybody else in there is like 6'5".
The mountain.
And they're all these Icelandic Vikings.
I mean, there are a couple guys there who are like 5'10",
stout,
5'11" or whatever. Yeah. But for the most part, yeah, they're.
I want to know what it is about powerlifting that makes you get a big ass head, because all those dudes have got huge melons. Have you seen that? Mikey,
HGH,
why don't you
probably growth hormone?
Mikey, why don't you break this down for us next week? As a guest host, you could tell us how your head got so big via weightlifting.
For sure.
Because I don't think you were lifting those weights with your head.
So, I mean, part of it might be, okay, if you spend enough time on growth hormone, just everything's going to grow. You know, your eyeballs are getting bigger. Your individual hair follicles are getting bigger as well as your muscles. But then I also wonder if, like, it's just that if you're going to go far in powerlifting, you have to be the kind of person whose body is going to produce a huge ass head to begin with.
Yeah, probably.
Like if your body is just producing like a svelte, delicate little like...
Me.
Do you have a svelte skull? You do have a skinny head.
Yeah.
Then that's like that. You're probably not going to be like 400 pounds.
Yeah, that's true.
What do you think the fattest you could get would be?
Me personally?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think I'd be hard pressed to get much over 200.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's...
I think my peak I was like 170, just under 180, like between 175 and 180. That's the fattest I've ever been.
Damn.
What about you? What do you think like the fattest
Ryan
you
could
could
top
get?
out
Dude,
about
I could
450.
I could
Really?
turn into a freaking Kirby.
Clubby.
I can eat.
You were big.
Yeah.
You were well big. And when was that? Like 2012?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I mean, and also because I love to eat, and then once I start eating, I feel like an obligation to finish it. And so if I kind of feel like pretzels and pizza and nachos and churro, etc., then I'll definitely just like, I want to get each of those things, and once I have them, I want to finish all of those things. Plus, like, I just kind of get hungry all day long.
Yeah. I don't know if these people exist, but are there people in the world who don't like food? Because food is like in my top 3 favorite things ever. And good food, there are few things that can surpass good food. And I wonder if there are people in the world who are just like, I don't really care. I mean, I'm sure there are, because there's people who eat just like Hamburger Helper at night and they think they're balling on a budget or something.
That's my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, well, I think a lot of it might just be like you don't know that there's better food out there.
Yeah.
And it's like I think about like my kids, and they didn't, if I hadn't made them experience other kinds of food, they're just so picky. Like they would have never, it would have taken them much longer to learn. So like if they hadn't had the opportunity to learn that there were other types of food, they might have just like kind of petered out on, boiled chicken or whatever.
I don't really get what it is about babies and being picky. I don't remember ever being picky. Like ever. I remember when I was a kid, my mom would be like, yo, I got some sushi. Do you want to try this? And I'm like, yeah, I'll eat a sushi. I don't care.
Yeah, I would always
I'd
try new
anything,
foods for sure. But I just also had a low level of trust in my own family, because they would be like, oh, you'll love this. And it'd be like boiled spinach.
It's like ice cream with ranch dressing on it.
And so I'm eating it, and I'm like, this tastes like garbage. And they're like, oh, that's just because you're not holding your nose. If you plug your nose, then you can't taste it. So I plug my nose, and I'm like, no, I can definitely still taste this.
Why are we eating things that we don't want to taste? That's a better question.
Oh, dude, because my family, I don't know, because my family hates joy.
Yeah, that's weird.
I did that a couple times with something mom gave me. I had to eat it, so I'd pinch my nose. And
Brenton would do that with everything. When we were kids, Brenton would be like, what are these peas? Pinch my nose. What is this, a potato? Yeah, I got to pinch my nose. And he was just like weak as hell. I'm like, just grab a hold of something, bite your lip, and give it hell.
Yeah, I don't believe in pinching nose, first off.
Yeah.
I don't ever pinch nose. I don't pinch nose when I go swimming.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't really think it works. I mean, I don't know about swimming, but like for eating.
It does work with swimming, but I don't even do it then.
How often are people getting... I mean, I feel like I never get water up my nose, and I never pinch my nose.
Is that why you do to prevent water?
I used to not. Yeah. But then like I've started doing it. I've started getting more and more water up my nose. But I think it's like partly like a deviated septum thing. And also I don't ever go swimming.
Right.
So I think I've
never had water get up my nose from entering.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I do is I just hold my breath.
Yeah, and if I'm ever worried about water penetrating my nostril, I just blow air out my nose, because done.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a built-in air supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wanted to try new food. But just like my mom's cooking sucked so bad. Most of the things she made. And so I tried it from like my grandma made it, or I'd try it if we were going to like a new kind of restaurant. I don't know why people are picky sometimes.
It's so weird. It's just very foreign. Like I understand it that like every kid is picky, but I just don't remember really ever being picky.
Yeah.
And it was like, even if it was stuff that I didn't like, I'd be like, no, I'm not trying to eat this freaking cockily. I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat cauliflower. It's gross.
Right. Yeah.
But I'd still just eat it. It's like, let me just freaking muscle through this so I can go get a brownie or something. I want dessert.
Yeah, well, people's minds are weak.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there were certain things, like, once I realized that I did not want to eat boiled spinach, then it became like a battle of wills, because my family was so confident that the trick where it's like, okay, well, you just can't leave the table until you finished your spinach and you can't have dessert.
Yeah.
I just decided at some point, like, okay, sooner or later, they're going to have to let me leave the table.
Yeah.
And my family was like pretty strict. And so I sat, and I was like a pretty good kid. So I think they like saw it as uncharacteristic, but I just knew that I was not going to leave the table, or I was not going to like eat. I would just wait there.
Yeah.
So like my whole family, they ate dessert in front of me. They were like pretending, they were like really living it up to make it seem like I was such an idiot. But I was happy just not having eaten boiled spinach. And then like everybody left to do their own things, and like it started getting really late, and they're like, well, you're going to have to go to bed soon. And it's like, you're going to have to be up all night. But I knew like these people are bluffing. There's no way they're going to let me stay up all night long.
In the name of boiled spinach?
In the name of boiled spinach?
Nah.
So they got pissed, but sooner or later I just went upstairs.
Shaylee will make fun of me because like we'll be making like a grocery list, and I'm like, she's like, so what kind of vegetable do we want with that? And I'm like, corn.
Fish.
She's like, that's not a vegetable. I'm like, potatoes. She's like, that's not a vegetable. I'm like, well, those are the only good ones. She's like, what about asparagus? And I'm like, what about, hell no. Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Why are we, like, if you have the choice of any vegetable, why would you go for the gross ones?
Yeah, go for chicken.
Yeah.
I like Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts can be freaking delicious.
I can make good broccoli. The other problem with vegetables is they die after like 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to commit not only to eating healthy, but to like cooking this big ass meal and spending like an hour slaving over it in the kitchen or whatever.
Yeah. Broccoli's not bad. I can eat broccoli. That's pretty good. Cauliflower is gross.
Cauliflower is gross, but it's like
gross.
A lot of vegetables. It's like I've had good cauliflower. What that means is they just take all the cauliflower taste out of it, and they inject like cheese.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Cauliflower with like nacho cheese on it. Yeah, I could plow through that, I guess.
What about zucchini?
Zucchini is good.
I like zucchini.
Zucchini is flavorless.
That's what I used to eat with my chicken and rice.
What I don't like is when they're like, oh, this is like, it's not rice, it's cauliflower rice, or it's like it's not like wheat.
It's cauliflower dough. Yeah.
It's like cauliflower dough, and it's like that's just cauliflower.
Yeah.
It's not cauliflower dough. It's not cauliflower rice.
Yeah,
it's not cauliflower grain.
Stuff on like on the interwebs, and they'll be like cauliflower fried rice for all of you gluten people or whoever the freak isn't eating rice.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Oops. Why would you do that?
Yeah. For freaking real.
I don't get it.
Dude, I love rice.
Rice is tasty. That's one thing I used to not like as a kid.
Rice?
Just white rice, plain white rice.
Oh, yeah. When
Dumb
we were kids,
bitch.
When I was a kid, my dad would make just steamed white rice. And I remember...
Dude, have you ever put pepper on that shit?
No, but... So, yeah, here's what I'm getting at. Is it was just plain. There was nothing on it. It was water and rice grains.
Yeah.
And that's my dad's jam. And he'd pull that bunch out of the freaking rice maker.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was a kid, we'd be like, dude, can we get something on this? Any kind of flavor. And my mom would be like, put some seasoned salt on it. I'm like, no, that's not it. And my dad would come through and he'd be like, what about some of this like Yoshida teriyaki sauce? And I'd go swimming in that shite. It was so good. I could drink that crap. But it's just funny like how white my mom is, being like, yeah, seasoned salt. It's like, put a Hidden Valley Ranch packet on this rice.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, Asian sauce, go.
Yeah, so my family do the same thing. It's just like salt, rice, water, done. Yeah. And
we didn't even get the salt.
Yeah, it was just
gross.
True story.
That's what I'm saying. The rice was like,
to this day, my dad eats that.
It's
for
just
real.
purely flavorless.
If he's like had a bad day at work, he'll come home and cook up a pot of white rice with nothing but rice and water.
Yep.
Okay, if you put enough pepper on that, it's delicious.
Oh, I know. Pepper's delicious.
Yeah,
Pepper's great. Pepper plus rice, because rice does have a little bit of flavor.
Yeah, but
and pepper plus the rice flavor.
Yeah,
freaking good.
The other day, so we got a new like mega pepper thing. You know what I mean? Like not a grinder for like applying directly to food, but like a giant ground pepper thing for like recipes and shit.
Yeah.
So we just got a brand new one of those, and they're huge and they lose flavor over time.
Yeah.
So I'm used to the old one, and we made some adobo, and it's like put in 2 tablespoons or something of pepper in this vat of soy sauce chicken.
Yeah.
And I got it out and I was like, this is the pepperiest food I've ever had, and it's freaking amazing. I was like, this new pepper is so good to me. For the longest time, like, I barely even tasted pepper. And when people are like, pepper's a spice, it makes it spicy. I have never once gotten a hint of spiciness from a pepper.
No, it's just a flavor.
It's a flavor. Yeah. I mean, it can be classified as a spice, but it does not spice your tongue.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You could just sit there all day eating pepper and you would not get any burn.
Right.
It might be weird in your throat, like, just because it's a powder. But that's true if you're inhaling, like, any powder.
Right. You know what that reminds me? Do you remember in cartoons back in the day, they'd always, like, shake some pepper in somebody's nose and it makes them sneeze?
Yeah.
Like, what's up with the fake shite in cartoons? Because they would do that, and then the person would be like, oh, no, I must needs, defend myself from the sneeze. And they'd put a finger under their nose, and they're like, what the freak is that? True. That doesn't do anything.
But on the other hand, I could see how that's misleading. But also, it's like, they also paint a hole on the side of a...
Yeah.
And they just, like, make a road into a fake tunnel on the side of the road, and people drive into it.
I have reason to believe that is more plausible than a finger under my nose repelling sneezes.
That's true. D just fooled people in Warzone with the spray paint bodies, and they've ran at them and like shot them.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the other? There's other things like that. Like, people say that if you breathe into a paper bag and scare yourself, that you'll stop hiccuping.
The freak is that? Yeah, there's all sorts of crap for hiccuping.
Yeah.
It's like your body just like evolved to need a paper bag.
Yeah.
It's stupid as hell.
They'll be like, eat ice cream, but put the spoon in your mouth upside down with the ice cream in the handle. And it's like, that doesn't cure anything. What the freak?
It's witchcraft.
Yeah, seriously. There's all sorts of these. That's what we need to do. We need to do a life hacks episode.
Oh gosh, I hate those
because they're all fake. If anybody tells you they have a life hack, they're an idiot.
Life hack: rob a bank, and you'll get more money.
Yeah.
Life hack.
Yeah. Life hack: if your life sucks, end it. Ta-da! It's like
death hack.
Yeah. Like, what the freak, dude?
Mm-hmm.
All of them. Yeah. If they're ever like, first of all, most of them are inaccurate. Like, they don't actually do anything. And if they do, it's not really a life hack. It's like common sense. It'll be
right.
Like,
they're all super
life
obvious.
hack: if your feet hurt walking, put on shoes. Yeah. And it's like,
life hack: if you have weird mold growing on your counters, and clean them off.
Yeah.
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 Use some bleach or something.
It's like, what person didn't know about this?
Yeah. I'm on lifehack.org, and the article is called 100 Incredible Life Hacks That Make Life So Much Easier. Mm-hmm. What they should have said is, life hack: if you don't put any content on your webpage, people can't disprove your life hacks.
You got to take a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
And we'll post it with the episode.
Yeah. Be like, read this article. Ta-da.
There's nothing there.
Yeah. It's just a never-ending scroll.
One of my favorite things I had as a kid, I saved up for this for like months. Maybe even longer. Maybe like, because I remember that like it was out of stock by the time I actually tried to buy it. And it was a book on how to do everything. So this is like right before the internet became ubiquitous enough where this is just like an easy thing to find. Like, how do you fold a shirt better?
Yeah.
Like, how do you like change a tire? Nowadays you can Google pretty much anything like that.
Yeah.
But I just saw that book one day and I was like, holy shit, like I want to learn how to do everything.
Yeah.
It's like how to skin a moose.
Yeah.
How to cut someone's hair.
I think it would be sweet to like live forever, just to learn everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I knew I wasn't gonna die for like 400 years, like I'd be a doctor, I'd be a lawyer.
Yeah.
I'd be a master pianist. I wouldn't, because I would suck at playing music no matter how old I am.
You played guitar?
No, I didn't. I looked at guitars and I told bunches of EFY that I played it.
Yes.
And
lie to women. You'd lie to women.
I'd lie to women. Yes. That's one of the skills you must learn if you live for 300 years.
That's a life
True.
hack.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like, A, are you going to live for 300 years or are you going to live for like 30,000 years? B, when do you get to start? Because my answer, like how I'm going to spend that time is going to be totally different if I never die starting now versus if like I get to go back in time and just live my life for 30,000 years up until this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I always think it'd be cool to just be able to like postpone aging. So it's like at any given point you could be like, you know what, I'm just gonna just stay here for a bit and then endure. I think that'd be pretty cool. Just be like, you know what, this is a good spot. I'm relatively healthy. Let's just ride this out for 100 years. And
I'm always worried about that like medical technology is going to advance to the point where they can delay aging or stop it basically. But at that point I'm going to be 90 years old. Yeah. And so everyone else is going to be like permanently young and hot, and I'm going to be stuck as this gross old dude.
Yeah.
Doesn't understand like how to like VR into 8 dimensions or whatever.
See, that's the thing. It's like, I don't think that we're ever going to get to that point.
Probably not, but it still is a scary thought to me because it's like, I want to live forever, but I don't want to live forever as like the grossest, oldest noob.
Yeah. It's like, I've read like dozens of articles where they'll be like, yo, by the time you're dead, by the time you're dying, the life expectancy will be like 140. I'm like, no, it won't. There's no way humans. Do you know how many freaking body parts you would have to replace to be able to? And it's like, what kind of 100? Like, have you ever seen a 100-year-old?
Quality of life is not great.
It's not just that their brain's gone. Like, everything is busted. Like,
that's true.
Their ligaments have fled their body. They can't walk. They can't run. They can't do anything. And no amount of like transplanting is going to make you a spring chicken again. You're not going to spring out of bed and just be all limber and shite.
I personally think that by the time like, I don't know, 40 years from now or whatever, the average life expectancy is going to be like 60.
Yeah. I mean, we're going backwards.
I think it's going to start to dip.
Yeah.
Really?
No, but I think there's like a decent chance that it's going to start to dip. I'm not a survivalist where it's like, I think the world's going to end and you have to be ready. But I think like there's like a 5% chance that the world's going to end and like a 10% chance that it's going to get really bad. And so you should get ready enough for that, you know? So yeah, is it going to dip? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, at what point do you opt out of that? You know what I mean? Like if by the time I'm 70, they're like, yo, we can stretch this out to 140. Yeah. I'd be like, no, thanks. No, I'm good.
It depends, man.
Yeah, I mean, it does. But if it was right now, if they were like, you can live like this till you're 140, I'd be like, yeah, that wouldn't be that bad. But if I got to wait till I'm 90 and then they're like, you got 50 more years of this, I'd be like, no.
Live like this till you're 140, just sitting alone in your room.
Yeah.
Reading about samurai stuff.
Yeah. Your legs don't work. You can't control when you pee.
Oh, I thought you meant living like I am now.
No. Well, yeah, same thing.
Can't control your legs.
You don't know when you're going to pee.
Yeah. Holy crap, dude. Cameron. I mean, So he was having a lot of fun playing video games. And he's like, oh, crap, I got to go to the bathroom. So he's running into the bathroom. And like the last like 0.3 seconds, he can't hold it any longer. And he's like pissing on the way to the toilet. Okay, it's getting everywhere. And I'm like, dude, could you not have held it for just like...
You could see
0.3.
You held it was in sight.
You held it for 2.5 hours. You had to pee all that time. You couldn't just tuck it in for just one moment longer? And how is his timing that good?
Yeah.
How did he not pee like a minute ago? If your timing is that good, you can have gotten to the toilet for sure. And I don't want to shame him because like I think that I've heard that like that's how people get weird issues or whatever. But it's like, come on, like, dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pee on, and he's like, oh, it kind of got over my leg and stuff. And I was like, yeah, hilarious. Like that's what happens when you piss all over yourself. Go get in the shower. Damn.
It's pretty gross, man.
It truly is. I don't know. sometimes I think it'd be cool to be. I think it'd be cooler to live forever if no one else got to live forever.
Yeah.
Like, I think that it would be great if everyone could live forever, but you get so much more enjoyment out of it if everyone else was dying at like 80 and they didn't have a chance to get good at everything.
Yeah.
Or like 80 or younger, but you got to live to be like 4,000 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
So you just had a head start.
I just think it'd be kind of cool. It's like if you knew you could live to be like 200 years old,
Yeah.
you are guaranteed richness unless you're an idiot. Because it's like if you park $10 in a bank account for 200 years, you're going to come out a millionaire.
True, although they're going to ask all sorts of weird questions like, yo, why are you, how do you still have this open? Why have you not willed this to anybody yet?
Why is that even an issue?
I just feel like sooner or
It's
later.
your money. Use it when you need it.
Yeah, but sooner or later, some like actuary at the bank is going to go through and is going to be like, this guy has been a customer for 140 years?
Yeah.
It's got to be, throw up some red flags.
I mean, maybe you'd get famous then, but I mean, as long as your
And then you make
fingerprint and
more
your
money.
ID still match, that's your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It would also actually, you know, one thing that'd be great if you now about it would be like, especially if you knew you were going to live to like 200, like 65, just immediately start taking Social Security.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, suck it.
Yep.
That'd be rough. You will have defrauded the state of millions by the time
sure.
you kick it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, although I guess if you're going to live that long, you probably have other cooler tricks that you can pull on people.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to do like, the thing I think that would be cool about living longer than everybody else, that would take some of the edge off if you were stuck as an old guy, because then you could be Gandalf.
Yeah.
Which, that would be a pretty good kind of life, I think. You just like show up in random small villages with fireworks.
I'm certain that if I lived for 6,000 years, I still wouldn't be able to grow a beard that good.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Do you think it just cap out?
well, it definitely
No
does
cap.
cap out with no cap. It caps out with no cap.
So you're
Medium
saying-
key.
So you're saying low key to mid key, no cap, it's capping?
Off key.
High cap, no capping.
For real, fool?
Fool.
Nah, fool.
Nah, bro, that's toxic, bro.
If your beard
Yeah.
can't grow that long, that's some bunner action, fool.
That would be toxic.
That would be toxic.
Yeah. I whenever I think about it, like anytime you read about them saying like, oh, we're gonna make people live forever and crap like that, anytime you do it, they treat it like it's like you're a freaking automobile.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, oh, your radiator's busted. We got one in the shop. We'll just pull it out and put it in here. And it's like, no matter how many new livers I got, like, have you ever seen old people's skin? You can't do a whole skin transplant.
I bet you can in the future.
Yeah, that's gross.
I'm less worried about the skin. I'm more worried about the brain.
Yeah.
Like, getting my skin swapped out is kind of... That's the other thing, dude. It's like, if you live to be 200 and, like, you were fit as a fiddle in terms of, like, your muscles and like your like heart and junk like that, but you were just like saggy everywhere.
Yeah. Like that'd be rough.
That would be rough if you had 200 years of sag accumulated.
Methuselah. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Dude, isn't it wild that in the Bible that they were just like, oh yeah, and my grandpa lived for 800 years.
Yeah.
And they just like thought that everyone would be like, wow, that's cool. Maybe back then they were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds plausible.
Wait, do you not think that was the case?
No?
No.
You think everybody died way sooner?
Yeah.
So then why are they saying that? I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm just saying, like, why are they putting in, like...
Why do people say anything?
I mean, the whole Bible is very, like, not literal. It's very figured.
Very...
Well, no,
Much of it is rather suspect.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
it's mucho sus.
Well,
Also,
like,
anytime
I
a
get that.
dude is bragging about how cool his dad or grandpa is, you should just discount it totally. If some guy's like, yeah, my grandpa lived to be 800 years old. He fathered an entire nation.
Yeah.
And also, he was the richest and smartest dude that ever lived.
Also, you got to think about the technology available to them at that time. How the freak do you know that a year has passed by when the most advanced piece of technology you have is like
A
fire?
sundial.
For freaking real, it's like, oh, it got cold again. That's a year. It's been a year.
Seriously, I mean that could have been 2 months.
Yeah,
you know what
seriously,
I
yep.
mean?
Especially they're down in freaking Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
You know, they go to the desert. It's literally sunny all year long.
Yeah.
It's been a little while, and they're like, I don't know, it's been like 3 years.
Count it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that it was like 98% like just pure metaphor, like not real.
Pure gibberish.
Yeah, but like I didn't think like the age, like that just seems like a weird thing to make up.
Not this time. Nope.
Okay, so you're saying like, yeah, you think that a lot of it's made up, but it would be weird for a person to suggest that their grandpa lived to be 800. So you think that was plausible?
Well, no, I just yeah.
Let's
I mean,
revisit
kinda,
this ranking.
Well, no, it's just like why? It's just such a weird thing to like make up.
Dude, what the freak?
I don't think they're
read the
making
Bible?
up. Yeah, I don't think they're making it up. I think that was really what they were thinking. Like we were just saying, they were like, "Well, it got cold again. It must have been 3 years."
I think it's a lot of credulous people that like. It's credulous people and a lot of like secondhand stories.
Right, and like how much stuff is lost in translation. You know
For
what I mean?
freaking real.
Like if what's Adam's firstborn, Seth or whatever? If he's like
Sephiroth?
Yeah, Seth. Sephiroth. If he comes out and he's like, yo, write this down.
Yeah.
My dad lived to be 800 weasel moments.
Yeah.
And then his kid's like, a weasel moment's like 16 parsecs. And then the next person that writes it is like, what's a parsec? It's got to be like 12 years. And then 12 years turns into like 4 cups. And then it's like, by the time you get down to us, now we've got freaking dudes living 1,200 years in crap.
For sure. And on top of that, it's like, I think if I'm like, okay, I think of how the boys just assume that I know everything about everything.
Right.
If I was just like, oh yeah, so like, where I grew up, it was freaking crazy. It was so hot. Like it was hot as shite.
Yeah.
Way hotter than anything you've experienced.
It was like 200 degrees there.
Like 200 degrees or whatever. And like, I don't know, man. There are all sorts of like gross bugs and shit like that. And then like I die and they're like 8 years old or 12 years old or whatever. They're left fending for themselves. They don't have any Wikipedia.
Yeah.
They don't have any internet. They don't know. The only other people they know are other idiots like themselves.
Yep.
Who have no perspective about the world, who grew up in freaking Stonehenge. Then like they're telling their kids, oh yeah, dude, your grandpa, where he lived, it was 3,000 degrees. He was fighting off scorpions every day with his bare hands. He was so badass.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like when they're like David and Goliath, dude, Goliath was like 9 feet tall.
No
Yeah.
way.
And by 9 feet, I mean he was really like 14 cubits. And I measure a cubit by it's the circumference
middle
of
my
14
fingernail
pinkies.
to like the middle of my
Right, and
18th
it's like
hair
these
on
are
my
all
wrist.
these are all relative measurements. Like it's not like they had
Yeah.
like one standard measurement. They were just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the length of 15 of my hands. And then you've got some dude with like little carny hands, and he's like,
Yeah.
this is only like 12 inches.
Dude, that's wild to me when they're still like, oh yeah, this horse is 18 hands.
Yeah.
It's like, do you realize the variation in hands?
It's like the weight or the measurement for mass of stones.
Uh-huh.
It's like, what stones are we talking about here?
For real.
Which stone exactly?
Depending on what stones I look at, I could weigh 200 stones.
Or 34,000
I could
pounds.
weigh
Like,
30. Yeah.
Yeah.
For freaking real. I could weigh 1 stone.
I mean, technically, the beach is made up of tiny little stones. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It's just all these like weird relative measurements, and I think that's a lot of the Bible.
Dude, can you imagine the dumbass that came up with stones as a measurement? So he's like, hey, how much does this cow weigh? Or he's just a genius con artist.
Yeah.
And he knew that like these idiot freaking British people are just, they'll fall for anything. They're so gullible. They're like, how much is this cow? And he's like, it's 15 stones. They're like, oh, how much is a stone? And he's like, well, what's that cow? Oh, that cow's like whatever. And they're like, and he's like, yeah, that one's only 12 stones.
Can you
Mine
imagine
is
though?
15, so you should
Can you
buy
imagine
it for.
though, like how they determine that? Like the first guy's like, how much does this weigh? He goes and like hefts a rock. And
Yeah,
he's like,
he does it.
about this much.
He does it 15
One of
times.
these, yeah. It's like one of these. That's how much that weighs. It's like, how does that help me at all?
There's no way if they come up with stones for their unit of measurement.
Yeah.
There's no way these people are building giant scales.
Yeah.
That's
They don't have the engineering prowess.
Right.
That's what I like to imagine is them building like this giant like scale, and they just put the cow on one side and put as many rocks as they can until it balances out, and they're like, "Yep."
Yeah, but the people who are choosing stones for their measurement, they're just gonna like put like 2 platforms on the ground. They're gonna put a stick between them. And they're gonna be like, "Oh, neither side's going up."
Yep.
So I guess they weigh the same.
Stones.
It's 18 stones. I've gained 5 stone this summer. It's so freaking dumb.
That's like
dude.
90 pounds or something. For
Dude,
real.
it's crazy when people are like, oh, he's such a brute. He weighs 15 stone. It's like that's not intimidating to me at all.
Yeah. It's like 1.5 is not a very big number, man.
For
That's
freaking
like
real.
if you
He
watch
weighs
like
14,000 grams.
yeah, that's like if you see like boxing, if you watch Tyson Fury because he's from over there.
Yeah, how many stone do he
And
weigh?
yeah, anytime you see him, they always like flash it where they're, you know what I mean? Like they'll be like, he weighs 13 centimeters. That's 1 foot. Someone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'll like alternate between the two, and they'll be like, weighing in at 294 pounds, 13 stone, is Tyson Fury. And it's like, what the freak is a stone?
Yeah, dude.
Why
it's
did you
so
feel the
dumb.
need to include that?
So freaking
Who in this
stupid,
world
man.
knows only stones and not any other unit of measurement?
Freaking Brits, dude, they're extremely
No, I don't
impressed.
believe it.
They're impressed by units of measurement so much. There's some movie back in the era of Blockbuster, I think. It might have been before Blockbuster or after Blockbuster closed, but I'm pretty sure it was Blockbuster era, and it was like some like British gangster movie. British gangster movies are for the most part terrible. This one is called 50-inch Chest.
What the heck?
And it's like that's supposed to be like
That's intimidating.
that's a badass right there. And it's like,
Barrel-chested
dude, there are a lot of 50-inch chest people out there who are not intimidating
Right.
at all. But British people, they're like, you put a number like that in front of them, and they're like, oh shoot, like how many stones does that work out
Yeah.
to? Carry the 3. Damn, I better run my bollocks off.
I mean, I know that America's full of dumb people, and we have a lot of dumb words. But man, the first time I watched Luther, I'm watching Idris Elba up there, and he's like, "Oh, mate, you got some squid?" And I'm like, "What the freak is he
Yeah,
talking about
dude.
squids for? What the freak?
For freaking real.
They use squids as currency. Apparently, a
That'd be
dollar to
badass.
them is a quid,
Yeah.
and it's just the goofiest word that you've ever heard.
Yeah. How many farthings is that?
Yeah. How many
It's
shekels?
so dumb, dude. Freaking farthings is also dumb. Isn't a farthing like 4 miles or something? A league
Yeah.
or whatever? I don't know.
Isn't there a part in the Bible where they for real break down like the units?
Yeah.
And
It's
he's
like a whole chapter.
And 16 farthings was 1 shekel, and 1 shekel begat 13 smithereens or something.
Yeah, and 13 smithereens. And the weird thing is, it's like it's crossing between like length and weight.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like mixing volume measurements with freaking sound pressure levels and shit.
For free and real. And 18 cubits is 1500 psi.
Yeah.
Yep.
Farthing was a money.
I'm pretty sure farthing is a length as well.
Oh,
I don't know
The first thing
anything,
that
dude.
popped up says it was a
I might be
unit in
thinking of
coin.
leagues.
It says it was equal to a quarter.
I told you about kalpa, right?
Of what?
Kalpa?
No.
I may have even mentioned it on the podcast before. Kalpa is a length of time in Hinduism. So not in, I don't know what language it's from. I assume like Sanskrit or something. But it's like in Hindu religious texts and in Buddhist religious texts. So if one, it's like just supposed to be some incredible length of time.
Yeah.
So one description of a kalpa is like you have a stone and it's the width of a cart, the height of a cart, and the length of the distance that a cart can travel in a day. Okay, so it's a big ass stone.
Uh-huh.
And once a year, or once every 100 years, something like that, an angel flies down from heaven and it brushes the stone with the hem of its cloak, and then it flies away. And it's just like a little like whoosh.
Mm-hmm.
And one kalpa is the amount of time that it takes for that stone to be whittled away into nothing.
Holy crap.
Uh-huh.
Why do you need a unit of measurement like that?
I think they're just trying to impress people. I mean, it seems like, no disrespect to those of you who are Hindu or whatever. Hindi's the language.
Yeah.
Hindu. But like, it seems like a big part of that religion is just impressing people with like big numbers.
Yeah.
Which has to be, that's probably why the British were so keen to conquer and despoil India, is because they're so impressed by
They
large
got tons
numbers.
of measurements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, we need to acquire these new silly measurements.
I just like, at what point are you like, how do you like find the correct scenario to use kalpa instead of forever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Well, I think
they're the
be
same
like,
thing.
it's like 18 kalpa.
Yeah.
Well, I think now this is just delving into like YouTube videos that I've watched at 3 a.m, but it's like there's something about how the first age of man was like 18 trillion Googleplex years long, and that was like 100% happy. Everyone was like, just, it was the best.
Yeah.
And then like the next age was like 75% happy, 25% suck.
Huh.
And then we're in the last age, which is maybe we're in the second to last age, but it's supposed to be like either half and half, or it's supposed to be like 75% suck and 25% good.
Yeah.
And it keeps getting shorter with each one.
Like this asymptotic function of
Yep.
happiness, just whittling away.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, kalpa.
Dude, also hectares.
Yeah.
Hectares, I don't know what the point of that is. Like if you already have acre.
Yeah. I don't even know what like how you convert to a hectare.
Dude, I don't freaking know. I mean, this is why we really ought to go to the metric system. Is like, it's dumb to have so many different ones.
Right. I don't remember if this was just us talking or if this was on the podcast, but why is not everything metric?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
weeks.
Who's the idiot who sat down and was like 60 seconds equals 60 minutes times 24 hours is 365 days.
For freaking
and
real.
It's like, why can't we just do tens?
Yeah, let's just do
Keep this
10.
easy.
And I get it. Like, okay, the Earth doesn't rotate around the sun like in a convenient like number of days or whatever for that. But it's like, have everything be like tens or hundreds,
right,
up until the difference.
Yeah.
And then have like a weird little dongle.
And then you've got you can have a leap year every 10 years instead of every 4.
For real.
Also,
time is the weirdest one, man. Just divide the day up into 10 hours.
Exactly. It's like, yeah,
so stupid.
We don't know. It's like, yeah, the length that, or the time that it takes us to travel around the sun is a year. And it's like, yeah, I get that that's 365 days. We can just scrap days altogether and just go in tens.
Yep.
And now 24 hours equals 10 farthings.
Yep.
And now that's it.
Or it's like weeks. Weeks is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
7 days.
Yeah.
That doesn't match with anything in
same
nature or whatever.
Same thing with months. It's just like
dude.
random,
12?
like just like, well, no, like random freaking.
Oh,
there's 30 days in September, but there's 28 in February, and there's 30 in this other month.
And
it's
31 in July. And
yeah.
Yep.
It's just
real
freaking weird,
dumb, dude.
Why?
I don't know.
Units of 10.
Everything should be tens, and if you can't, just have a little dongle.
And if you don't know, now you know, fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I don't know, like, how much of that is because people are like, oh, well, God did it in 7 days. I mean, that's the reason that I've heard. The only reason that has ever been given to me.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be like a good enough basis to keep doing it. I mean, I think the only reasonable reason to keep doing it is just that it would be really expensive.
Yeah.
To switch over.
Like Y2K.
But it's like right now, dude, it's like how long into computers are we? How far into computers are we? And we still have problems all the time where people screw up time zones and it causes like catastrophic system failures.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we need to have some sort of solution, especially when the whole world, like, it doesn't matter what time it is now. Half the people I engage with on a regular basis don't even live in like the same country.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's real strange.
Yeah, it's dumb, man. People do things because they've been like done a certain way for a long time.
Yeah.
And
It's real weird.
dude, weren't we gonna rank something else? Oh, video games. We got to turn this into like a video game review podcast for a while.
Yeah.
That'll drive clicks.
That's hard to do though, because there's a lot of video games.
That's true. We just need to do like what's like the top video game from 1992.
Yeah.
Or
Aladdin.
like wrong.
What?
I don't know. It's definitely not Aladdin. I mean, it's a good game, but it's not top of 92.
What else you got?
I don't know. I don't even know what came out in 92.
Yeah. Dash.
Video games released in 1992.
Maybe Aladdin was 91.
You don't even know?
I think it was 92.
Okay, Super Mario Kart, Kirby,
Clubby.
Contra 3, I don't know, Mortal Kombat, EVO, The Search for Eden, dude, that game is freaking sweet. Soul Blazer is
Aladdin
pretty
was
good.
92.
Aladdin.
Oh,
Really?
The video game or the movie?
that was the movie. Let me see the video
The
game.
video game probably wasn't too far behind.
Baseball Heroes came out in 92.
I mean, that video game was all of like 16 kilobytes, so couldn't have taken them that long to develop.
That's one thing I really like about Minecraft.
Uh-huh.
It is like the only game in the future, which is now, that isn't like 200 billion gigabytes. That thing's under a gig.
What?
Minecraft.
Yeah.
But it's like every game nowadays is like freaking Modern Warfare. You can't even fit it on a 250 gigabyte
Yeah.
hard drive.
There's this first-person shooter that's been under
93.
development for decades. That the whole like they're just trying to put as much work as they can into this game. That I think I might be misremembering this, but I think the executable, like everything, is just fits in 64 kilobytes.
Damn.
And so like the whole challenge is just like how much can we cram in
Mm-hmm.
to this like little tiny thing. But yeah, nowadays, dude, freaking Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Red Dead's freaking huge too.
Yeah, but the thing about Modern Warfare is it's like, so Red Dead is like a content heavy world with like a ton of voice acting and a ton of like, you know, a ton of like cinematics and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's like Modern Warfare. I get that the graphics are going to take up a ton of space,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like it doesn't need birds. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Yeah.
Hell
It's
no.
probably a
They,
gig. Delete that gig right out of there.
Dude, every single one of the every single map, if you look around on the edges, it's like 4 times as big as the playable area.
Yeah.
It's like just put a wall up around the arena.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wall it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shall not
The
pass.
I think the base game for Call of Duty is like 112 gigabytes, at least for Xbox.
That's wild.
And it's like, why does it need to be that big? Why is the base game that big?
I remember I got a game that was this is like early 90s. I got this game that was like 20 megabytes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to have to clear all this crap off my computer.
Yeah.
So I spent some time cleaning it up. It was like the first game that I had that came on CD. Because it was right after we got a computer that had a CD-ROM drive. And so like we were like cleaning all the crap off. And then finally like I installed it. It was like taking up all my space. And it had like a brief like 3-second like video opening.
Mm-hmm.
It took like 3 minutes to load this program so that it could like play 3 seconds of video. And then it's like, all right, now you're on to the game. And it's just like a regular game after that.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I ever listen to this in like 10 years, all the games are going to be like 14 terabytes.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, I mean,
Modern Warfare is going to require you to watch a 14-minute cinematic just to kill a person.
Shaylee will make fun of me because I'm like, this is how old I am. I remember, no joke, in high school, everybody had a floppy disk in their backpack, and it was like if you needed to like print off something, you could just put it on a floppy and then go to like the library or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, it makes it sound like I was in high school in like 1986.
Yeah.
But this really wasn't that long ago, and and those floppy disks are like 1.44 megabytes was what they held on them.
Yep.
And it's crazy just thinking about like how quickly like this exponential growth has happened. Like I remember like when we were at CompUSA, we're working there. This is 15 years ago, and it was like I think it was like a 2 gigabyte or a 2. No, it wasn't. What was it? They weren't in gigabytes yet. No, yeah, I think they got up to gigabytes. They were like a 2 gigabyte card was like over $100.
Oh yeah, dude. No, when I got that, when I got the Casio, the biggest card that you could get was like 128 or 256 megabytes.
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, like things were just going wild.
Yeah.
Finally, they got up to like a 2 gigabyte SD card.
Yeah.
And that was wild.
It's crazy. And now we're in like you can get a micro SD with 512 on it, 512 gigabytes, and it's no big deal.
It's 3 cents.
Yeah, they're like $28.
Yep, they give them out in every bag of Doritos.
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's the best flavor of Dorito?
Spicy Crotcho, dude.
Spicy nachos up there.
Nachos is really good.
All day.
There's some good flavors though. I really like that
The
sweet
spicy
chili.
one?
Yeah,
That one was great.
Spicy sweet chili. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, that one's good. Cool Ranch is solid.
Yeah.
We were just talking. Here's a little change of subject, and also it'll scratch your ranking itch. The other night we were talking about what did we watch, Kaden? We watched something, and then we were like, "What superpowers is cool?"
Oh, we watched Invisible Man, the new one.
Oh yeah. That's
on
The horror
HBO.
one?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's cool.
Susan and I watched it in theaters.
Yeah, so we watched that.
Is that like just before Corona? Because
Yeah,
it came
it's
out
right
this
at the
year.
beginning. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so we watched that, and like the consensus is, invisibility is just a pervert power.
100%.
100%.
Nobody-
No. It's 95% perverts and 5% thieves.
Thieves. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only people who could use that. But then we were trying to think. We're like, if what's the hierarchy of superpowers? Like, if you had to pick one, like if
What counts though? It's like number one is you can do anything and you're God.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
If it's like one thing though,
It's
like one power at a time, not like blanket. I'm a god.
you should go first because me and Deej I feel like agreed on our number one.
I mean, this is the problem. I've thought about this a lot, and what counts? Because, like, okay, well, if my power can't be every power, well, then can my power be like I have like wish granting of myself power?
That's not a power, dude.
Nah,
That's
dog, just
dumb
like
as
the
hell.
just
How
like
the hell
the,
can I? Well, it is dumb as hell, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, what's the
typical
limit?
superhero
Talking about
powers.
a real.
Yeah.
Telekinesis.
Yeah.
That's what you'd pick.
I think number one, telekinesis.
Mind
Nah.
powers. Nah, man.
No, because telekinesis, you can fly with it. You can split the atom with it and create nuclear explosions.
You can fly with telekinesis.
You lift yourself.
Yeah, it's like a Magneto.
Magneto's not telekinetic.
He's magnets.
No, but like
His name is literally Magneto.
yeah, but he's like doing the same
not
shit.
telekineto.
No, he's not, because he's moving the metal that's on his boots or something.
Yeah. I'm saying you can move any shite just with your mind. You can just be like, whoop. So yeah, why couldn't you fly with telekinesis?
I don't know. I've never seen that in an X-Men movie. Look, that's why.
I don't take X-Men as the basis for...
Well, you should, because that old dude who just died is like the god of all superpowers. What's that guy's
what
name?
old guy? Oh, Stanley.
Stanley. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking like, okay, you have telekinesis. You can kill anyone. Because like you just like, okay, just like sever their brain stems. Just look at them and like...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that'd be kind of cool, but since I was freaking born, dude, teleport.
Yep.
That's where I'd be.
No
Teleportation.
way.
24/7.
Dude, you could do
Like
anything.
Nightcrawler or like...
No, like
What kind
freaking
of like across the world?
Yeah,
like
anywhere.
anything. You could teleport in time.
That's what we were
Mhm.
saying. We were talking about it, and it's like, if you could teleport, like,
Mhm.
why couldn't you teleport through time as well?
I don't...
You know what I mean? Like, space and time is linked.
Yeah, but that's also like saying if you could run fast, why couldn't you also think fast?
Well,
or
you
also,
have to,
Yeah.
lest you run into a wall with
Yeah.
your
Okay, fine.
dumbass.
yeah.
What if you're like, if you can lift heavy, why can't you also drive heavy?
What?
It's not necessarily related. Is my point.
Yes, it is.
It's more related than
Yeah,
driving
yeah,
and lifting
yeah.
weights, you dumbass.
Not
What
necessarily
the-
time travel and teleporting around. I mean,
You
what's
just teleport to a different place in time.
You just teleport. You just do this thing that is not possible in reality.
Well,
that you're just saying hypothetically.
Well,
I mean, if you just do that, then just also have God powers.
That's not God powers. It's just you teleport.
100% that's God powers.
And then also, it's like, dude, teleport is like every superpower that you could want into one. Because it's like, okay, you need super strength to lift shite. We just teleport that shite to where you need to be.
So you can teleport other stuff too?
Yeah, dog. I mean,
That's how Nightcrawler do it.
yeah, he freaking teleports
Oh my
things.
gosh.
And then also, it's like you want to fly, just teleport in the sky, kind of free fall, and then before you splat, boom.
Well, if
you're
you
back on the ground.
instead of brushing your teeth, why don't you just teleport the germs away?
That's
You
the
know,
point.
Yeah.
If you need, if
Plaque
you're
be
like,
gone.
instead of flirting with a girl, just teleport good thoughts about you into her brain.
That's a good point.
I don't know about that one.
It's all. I mean, it's as plausible.
Well, even more reason to pick teleportation
Yeah.
as number one.
Telekinesis is better because what you can do is you can just, using your mind, move yourself back in time.
Squeezing your mind.
So when I'm squeezing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like teleport would be freaking sweet.
Teleport
I
would
think
be
super
convenient.
speed would be the next
Yeah, super speed would
of
be
like
sweet.
of like standard X-Men-ish superpowers. I'm not talking about.
I don't know what standard X-Men-ish superpowers are.
Well, then go watch those X-Men movies.
No,
freaking loser.
I'm not going to spend 4 hours of my life being bored just so I can.
It's not
more
being bored.
adeptly-
You're learning, dumbass.
I'm not learning, dude. That's what Wikipedia
Learn about
exists.
superpowers.
That's why fandom.net or whatever exists.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
gonna
look
be
at- I'll
more.
research it
That's gonna be
later.
more time than the X-Men movies.
Nah, I'll just look up like list of super. But that's the thing. Every time I look up list of super, this is the thing that drives me crazy about like comic books and X-Mans, etc. Is that all of these people? It's like if you had any of these powers, you could so easily rule the world.
Yeah.
If you had any of them,
Yeah.
dude. If you can just like take Superman being able to fly.
Yeah.
He can literally just move without propulsion. Do you know how freaking crazy that is?
It's freaking sweet. Yeah.
Do you know how much better use that could be put to than beating up a crook?
He doesn't beat up crooks.
Yeah, he does, dude. That's all Superman does. He just beat up crook and like bees mean to Lex Luthor.
And he
And
fights
he
like
berserks people with his eyeballs.
yeah, he like fights Doomsday. And,
Great, berserk people away. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, it's like solve world hunger. Provide everybody with
What do you
free
want?
energy forever.
He doesn't care to do that.
That's what I'm saying. He's a bitch. He's a
Nah.
dumb bitch.
He's just a little selfish.
He could farm all of Africa just like in one night, just like solve poverty in Africa. Okay? He could do so many things.
Yeah, but I feel like that's
Okay, it's like what about all those kids who are assembling cell phones and shite? Okay? It's like just go do their job for them.
Yeah.
Go finish it all. If you're that fast,
Yeah.
the
I mean,
Flash is a bitch.
I get
Superman's
that,
a bitch.
But I'm like, if you do have superpowers,
Mm-hmm.
why would you spend them doing poor people things?
yeah.
I spent
That's
2
something.
days fixing the world, making it utopia. I'd fly off into space and nuke the Earth. Just every single last person. I'd leave one person.
And on the
left.
7th day, I rest.
That's exactly right. I'd put one person in a glass cube. I'd leave the people in the space station.
Yeah.
I just let them watch, and I would like, see, bitch,
Bye.
and then I just fly away.
Yeah.
Go chill on the sun.
I just teleport freaking world problems away.
Yeah. That's a good point. Teleportation is probably better.
Teleport food into your stomach. That's how you end world hunger.
That's true.
Yeah.
Teleport food into everybody's
I just
stomach.
teleport all the phones those kids
Yep.
are making. I just teleport them,
Yeah.
teleport them into the hands of the consumer.
That's great. Yeah. I can see how this teleportation power is definitely well thought out. And
It's speaking of blowing up Earth and leaving forever. It's kind of crazy thinking about like how tiny everything is.
mm-hmm.
Like you watch like that Cosmos shite
Mm-hmm.
with Neil deGrasse,
Yeah.
and or like all the time I get like random videos in my YouTube, and it'll be like our solar system scaled. You know what I mean? They're like, this is you, and they're like, this is a mountain, this is the Earth, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And then it's like by the time it gets to the sun, it's like we're like a little freaking a pea, and it's the sun. And then it's like the sun's big brother, and it's like now the sun's the P.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and crap
for
like
real.
that. It's freaking nuts.
You could fit 18 billion school buses inside of like, you know,
the sun's fingernail.
the sun. Yeah. One ash of,
and it's like, what do they say? I think it is that the sun is like 99% of the solar of the mass in our solar system or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like
The other 1% is my dick.
Oh.
Because I'm good at math.
Gross.
I just teleport math.
That would be inconvenient.
That would be. We're just all orbiting around. I'm just stuck to the ground that we're all walking on top of.
Or everybody would be stomping on it. You'd be in pain. Just
It wouldn't be,
chronically.
dude. If your dick was that big, I would not feel people stomping. Stomping couldn't affect it. First off,
Have you ever had anything hit you in the stuff? Like, it hurts. I don't care how small it is.
okay, have you ever had a germ stomp your balls?
Yes.
Okay, that'd be. Did it hurt?
It sucks.
What kind of germs are you talking about? Yeah, dude, it would just be like nukes could go off on my nuts, and it would just feel like a light tickling.
Dude, nuclear bombs are freaking cool.
Dude, it's wild that so many people think that nuclear bombs. I don't know, man.
Nuclear.
What is like the nucleus of an atom gets split?
Yeah.
Why does only the nucleus get that privilege?
All the other stuff is just riffraff.
But like atoms, I thought it was the atom gets split. The nucleus of the atom. What's the difference between a nuclear bomb and an atom bomb?
Just semantics. I don't know.
Really? Is it the same?
I think they're the same. Yeah.
I think the difference is some people here aren't splitting the atom, but some are splitting.
I
the
think
nucleus.
nuclear is like an overarching term that can, because they'll be like atom bomb, hydrogen bomb, and it's like they're all doing the same thing. It's
Like
nuclear
it's a
fission.
hydrogen atom.
Yeah.
What's a helium bomb?
That's the Hindenburg, dude. I've never even heard of a helium bomb.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that like a nuke?
I think. I thought it was like a
With
bigger
helium?
kind of nuke.
It says, okay, both atomic bombs and hydrogen bombs are kinds of nuclear bombs.
Nuclear. Bitch.
Yeah.
Hydrogen.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Is that what we're calling them?
I don't know. I'm guessing one of them. I'm guessing they have to do with fission and fusion. One of them uses one uses the other. That's my guess.
Yeah. It says the big difference: atomic bombs use nuclear fission,
Yeah.
which splits a bigger atom into two smaller ones to create their energy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference.
Also, like freaking just all this nuclear stuff in general. Like, did you watch Chernobyl
No.
on HBO?
That's
No.
good.
Oh, it's good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's just nuts thinking that there's like this invisible crap that's like nuclear bomb strong. Like,
Dude, I don't want to. It's dumb to me to watch something about everything leading up until Chernobyl. I want to see everything that happened since Chernobyl. I want to see three-eyed frogs. I want to see like people with antennae.
Something that happened post Chernobyl is after the show came out, there was like a big problem with a bunch of basic butches going to there to take pictures on Instagram because the show was popular.
Badass.
And then like all these people were getting effed up from
come back with 3 arms and crap.
from like
That's
the
freaking
radiation
sweet.
because they're like, oh yeah, like the show's so cool, click, and then they're like dead.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's a good show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's real good. Like,
I don't
there's
know.
only one dude with a brain in all of Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they bring in this doctor dude, and they're like, so what up with this invisible death machine that is killing us and stuff?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't see any radiation. And he's like, it's there. I can assure you it's there. And they're like, no, it's not. And everybody's like this defiant, like, dickhead being like, you're stupid. And then there's like people just like dropping like flies.
I mean, I can buy that because we can see that easily all around us in the world today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like people are dying, like reports are coming out of like long-term neurological issues.
Yeah.
And you have all these like people out there partying. It's like, my president is gonna, is not gonna let the deep state control us.
Yeah.
And then it's like, meanwhile, he's like, actually, everyone should wear a mask. It's like, I don't know, whatever. So it's like, it does seem plausible that people
Wait, is
could
the
be
president Milton from Office Space?
Yeah.
That's who's running our country?
Basically, dude.
I believe you are my stapler.
Pretty much, dude.
Yeah.
You make that guy like a little bit flashier.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same dude.
That's true.
And oh yeah, and it's like, so where are they getting their freaking information? Who knows? I mean, they're just getting it from the internet or whatever.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, I kind of buy it, but also I'm skeptical of any TV show that Americans are making about the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Because like every single time, it's like the moral of the TV show is like, it's like, comrade, maybe we should stop people from die. And the other guy's like, no, because we do not have free market or democracy principles.
All of these like shows about Russia were written by like Milt Friedman.
For freaking real. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, it seems
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more nuanced than that.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Comrade, should
there
we
was a
save
lot
the
of
life of that old woman? No, because we do not have enough Nike shoe.
And
Yeah.
then insert American soldier who lands on a grenade for that old woman.
For freaking real. It's like, and then you have some like grizzled, like old, like Marine in the United States. Like, God damn it, if only they'd listen to us.
Yeah.
We but all the liberals in fucking Hollywood are making us do peace and, I don't know, peace treaties.
yeah. It's freaking sweet though. Like you think about like science and weird crap like that, and it's like I don't even know how any of that stuff works, but it's freaking cool.
Hell yeah, dude.
Freaking magnets.
How do they work?
And I don't want to talk to a scientist. What did he say? Because they're always lying, or they just leave me confused or something. Why doesn't he want to talk to a scientist?
I don't know.
It like makes him angry that he doesn't understand because they give him. Anyway,
Real words.
it's freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just on the one hand, I'm an idiot who doesn't understand anything about the world. But on the other hand, I'm like, one thing that kind of drives me crazy is when people on the internet are like, well, science says blah, 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 blah. And it's like, who the freak is science?
Yeah. Science is that one dude.
Science doesn't have a voice.
Yeah.
Science doesn't talk. Or it's like, well, yeah, well, Russia said blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
The country.
the country
The
said
dirt under their feet.
it. Unanimously, every citizen.
Yeah.
What the freak does that mean? Russia said. What does
Yeah.
that mean? Science says. These things don't mean anything.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy. And so it's like, I mean, there is a certain amount of debate in science. And I don't want to like, it's sort of overblown sometimes because people use that same logic to be like, well, global warming isn't real because even though 15,000 scientists say that global warming is real, there's like 5 scientists who say there isn't. So it's like there's healthy debate.
Yeah.
Or it's like there's healthy debate between almost all scientists and my uncle, you know, who like
won the science fair in 4th grade.
won the science fair, you know, and like
Yeah.
read a couple books about it.
That's like these idiots who are like, nah, dude, I'm not wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, if you're sheep. If you wear masks,
For
you're
freaking
stupid
really.
sheep and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like these are the same people who are like, you're an idiot. That mask isn't gonna protect you. Put 2 drops of lavender oil in your water and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it's like, get the freak out of here, dude.
For sure, dude.
It's like,
I thought it was supposed to make you sleepy.
yeah. It's like so your witchcraft works, but
Yeah.
science, the person told me that masks are effective,
Mm-hmm.
and lavender oil told you
Also,
it's going to cure your cold.
it's crazy to me when people are like, "Oh my gosh, like I can't believe you believe that, like whatever, like I can't believe you believe the whole mask narrative." But then they're like, "Okay, it's like, well, what evidence are you basing your lavender beliefs on?"
Yeah.
Okay, eucalyptus tree oil, eye of newt, and like brew of raven. You like mix those in a
Crow's
gumbo.
I was just thinking of this, like just like earlier today. I was thinking, and I'm like, what like the source or the motives behind this?
Yeah.
They're like, you guys are sheep. The purpose of the masks is to suppress your free will and turn you into subservient slaves and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who is doing this, and who is profiting from me being sheeple?
Mm-hmm.
And on the other hand, they're like, oh, but dude, orange citrus fusion drops sourced from thousands of gallons of oranges distilled into one pure drop of oil will cure your cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, who's the source of this? And it's like, oh, my pyramid scheme.
Yep.
And it's like, so they're trustworthy.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
science, the person
science
is not trustworthy.
Mr. Science.
You can't trust science.
Dude, the other thing that's crazy about all that is like half the people who are like, the mask, it's just for sheeple. And if you're a sheep, do you wear a mask? Well, first off, I have seen many sheep in my life. Like maybe 2 have worn a mask.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what picture of these people have clearly never been to a ranch.
Yeah. What sheep
or petting zoo.
Or a petting zoo.
What sheep are you farming?
Or even like watched too much of like children's educational television.
Yeah.
The second thing that's crazy to me about that is like, okay, because wearing a mask just out of like, general like cautiousness makes you a sheep. But like the response to this is like, in order to not be a sheep, we have to proclaim our obedience to President Trump, who's going to save us.
Yeah, seriously.
What's more servile?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just, yeah, the whole thing is just kind of weird. On the one hand, I'm like, I can kind of understand you being like, oh, people are making me do things that I don't want to do, because I really hate doing this stuff that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I can kind of get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't hate wearing a mask. When this is over, I'm going to keep rocking that thing, dude.
For sure.
I look like a freaking bandit walking into Walmart.
Yeah, dude.
Hide this gross mustache on my face.
How much easier it is to get away with shit wearing a mask.
Yeah, nobody's going to be like, that was him, officer. It was those eyes.
Exactly. Right, for sure.
Those eyes shoplifted at Walmart last week. And it's like, nobody can tell who's who.
Exactly, dude. That's the thing is like, if you really are against the deep state or whatever, you should want everybody to be wearing a mask all the time.
Pull out your freaking anonymous mask and
for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like the whole ninja aspect of society that we have right now. I also like I like not having people breathe on me.
Yeah,
I hate human breath.
Yeah. I wish that COVID hit when I was in college, because I remember when I was in college, I'd walk around campus with headphones, sunglasses, and if I didn't look goofy in a hat, I'd wear a hat too. It's like whatever I can do to repel people is to my advantage. And if I had a mask, I would be so much less approachable.
Dude, like 2 years before the whole COVID thing, I was thinking about how much I wanted to buy a hazmat suit for use on like planes.
And Walmart.
And I was like, dude, what if I could just get away with wearing that all the time?
That'd be freaking sweet.
Have you read Dune?
You look like freaking Moltar walking around.
Hell yeah, dude. Why would you not want to be Moltar? Have you read Dune?
Absolutely not.
Dune is freaking sweet. In Dune, they wear like a suit. There's some things about this that are kind of gross, to be fair. They wear a suit that reclaims the body's moisture.
Yeah, that's freaking gross.
So like all the sweat, all the saliva, all the pee, etc. And it's because they live in a desert. But like, and I was reading about that. And I'm like, well, that seems efficient and useful. Kind of gross, kind of inconvenient to be carrying your like feces around in your legs or whatever. But
in your legs.
Yeah, just like in like a little packet or whatever. But
insulation.
But then I was thinking like, geez, like in some ways, like having like a full body suit that covers every part of you, that would be so convenient for other reasons. You could have built-in AC. Non-stop AC. You could just have like some kind of like Dragon Ball Z Scouter overlay.
Yeah.
That's like, just like you're reading like, cool comics or or like listening to cool stand-up comedy on like while you like walk around. You don't have to engage with anything. The Moltar suit is the way to live.
Yeah.
You can like filter all sorts of pathogens from getting in your shite.
What I don't understand is why don't we have scouters? You know what I mean? Google Glass was a thing for like 2 seconds 10 years ago, but why has there not been anyone else developing heads-up display? Do you know how freaking cool it would be if I could just like look at shite and it'd be like instantly being like, your mailbox is 236 meters away?
Yeah, dude.
Just for fun, like just like trivia. Like, dude, I'm not walking to my mailbox because it's freaking far. But it'd be cool to look over there and my glasses tell me, listen, fatty, that's why you're not walking there, because it's 248 meters.
Like for contractors,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to like instant measuring everything. Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, like this is like a little bit uneven.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, dude, there'd be so many things that'd be good about that.
Yeah.
I think about that shit all the time. I've been thinking about that since CompUSA.
Yeah.
It's like walking around and it's like I'm wasting all of my eyeball time and all my earball time right now. For real. With shit that I don't care about. And also I don't wear a personal air conditioner. That's like half the thing for me is like, dude, imagine if you just had like a personal like fluid controlled air, like you had like tubes running around your body. I've tried building it a couple times, but I can't get it to like really work in a portable way. So I got it to work where if I'm sitting down in a hot place and I can have like a reservoir next to me of cool water, I can cool myself down stat. I can just be wearing like a full coat.
Yeah.
But it's really annoying because then I have to have like basically like a fountain pump running the whole time because just like running in these tubes around my body. And also part of it too is like I'm like every time I do something like that, I'm like, if I let this go too far, I could seriously alienate myself from most of humanity, and I have to restrain like the impulse.
Dude, how cool would it be if we for real had like scouters? Like you walk up to somebody,
the best.
And it just like automatically, it's like it scans them, and it's like height, weight, BMI.
Yeah, for
all
sure.
of a sudden, it's got the likelihood that they could kick your ass.
Dude, okay, so
you know what I mean? Like how freaking cool would that be?
Scouters would be freaking awesome for like all sorts of practical reasons.
Yeah.
But part of why I want a scouter is because I want to know what my power level is.
Yeah.
I want to know the power level of myself and all my friends.
I'm certainly under 9,000.
You think you're under 9,000?
Oh, for sure.
Do you think there's any human being above 9,000?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe like UFC fighters. Maybe they're in the thousands.
Think John Jones?
No way, dude.
Yeah.
You think UFC fighters? Because wasn't Goku like 100 at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
You think that anybody in the UFC could defeat Goku?
At the beginning, yeah, he was weak as hell.
No way, dude. Not a chance.
He was weak as
hell. All of
hell.
Dragon Ball was how all UFC fighters were trying to fight Goku. And as a 6-year-old boy, he was kicking their ass.
Okay, if that's the case, then why is Mr. Satan at the top of the pyramid? Why is he the strongest dude in the universe?
A, he's excellent at promotion. B, he has a sick freaking afro.
C, his name is Satan.
C, his name is literally Satan, dude. You know how much power I'd have if my name was Satan?
Yeah.
Damn.
No, I'm talking like relative 9,000.
So what's an average human then?
I don't know. We'd have to calibrate our. We'd have to calibrate our scouters.
Say that a relative 9,000. How can you say that a relative UFC fighter would be 1,000 if you don't know what a relative human would be?
If 9,000's our freaking benchmark, there we go. Now we can get to it.
9,000 is a benchmark of a UFC fighter?
Yeah, if we're going to say that the UFC fighters are the equivalent of Gokus in real life in the world.
Uh-huh.
So where do we measure up?
What do you think you are?
I'm like a 6.
Hell no, dude.
A 6?
Elsie's like a 2.
Elsie's a 2. You're
telling me there's only a +4 between you and Elsie?
Yeah, dude.
What's your wife? Well, that's 3 times as much.
Yeah, dude, triple. I could take 3 Elsies at one time.
Easy.
I think you could take like at least 12.
An army of infants.
Do you know how many infants I could personally kill? I was thinking about this earlier today. It's like if a squirrel tried to invade my property like aggressively,
yeah,
it would be so easy to kick it in the head so hard and just totally demolish it.
I don't think so, man. Have you ever seen squirrels at full speed? They're fast.
If it's trying to attack you, though, it's coming right for you. So you just have to kind of time it. You know what I mean? It's like hitting a soccer ball that's moving fast.
Yeah. It's like there have been times where like one of the greatest accomplishments in my life is when there's like a bee or a fly or something flying near me.
Just punch
and I
it.
cock back and slap that shite and it like spikes it on the ground. I'm like, yeah.
Bitch.
Just imagine doing that to like a squirrel. Squirrel's charging you with his freaking buck teeth out, and you're just like,
that's right.
Yeah.
How far do you think you could kick a squirrel?
Not that far.
I feel like I would like to put together a set of metrics that combined gives you some sort of a power level.
Dude, we need to just make new measurements. The distance of like 2 squirrel kickings.
Yeah, for real. Take the average.
That's a Kalpa now.
You know what I mean? Yeah, for real. But I feel like, some things is like, okay, how much can you squat? How fast can you run?
Yeah.
You know, it's like how well can you like. How well, like, you know, does your stomach hurt? Does your tummy hurt after you eat Indian food? Things like that. And you combine all these metrics, and at the end, it's like, here's your power level.
Yeah, but it's like...
Because I feel like, okay, like Mikey's got to have like 10. I mean, he's got to have like a power level of 10.
If I'm a 6?
No, I'm just saying in general. If UFC fighters are 9,000, you don't think Mikey has 10? And I don't know why I think that. I think it's just because he's been able to squat quite a bit in his life.
I'm surely outside of single digits. However,
you are.
Yes.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Give me your real number.
I don't know a real number.
I would say I'm.
If John Jones is 9,000, that's the benchmark. I'd put you at like 400.
400.
400. That's pretty respectable.
Yeah, man. That means what? John Jones is only 20 times stronger than me?
Yeah, that means like
Hell yeah.
That means he would go like 20-0 at least against you.
In a row.
Yeah,
right.
Like you
get new fresh ewes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He has to like keep fighting with his same worn down self.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd certainly finish more than 20 of me.
You think so?
Yeah, because I mean, you think about it. He trains for 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, you train for 0-minute rounds.
It would take him exactly 4 seconds to whip my ass. There's 4. How many 4 seconds are there in 5 minutes?
I don't know.
That's how many parsecs. And now,
and then carry the stone.
And now, and now 3 stones in, and he's still ready to go, man.
Okay, so in order to trust your measurement of Austin at 400, what would you say your power level is, Caden?
Mine?
Yeah.
200.
Wow, to me.
Just kidding. 200. That's pretty good. What do you think my power level is?
Okay. If I'm 200, he's 400. John Jones is 9,000. I'd put you at
16.
No.
100.
No. I would put you as you are right now, or like PQ, because PQ is different than you right now.
What?
Because like
I thought you had long hair.
Like back when you were freaking having Vegeta cover your crotch, that's like 1,000. But you right now, I'd put it like 650.
See, and here's the other thing that I was gonna say though, because you're like, I would take their squats and their thigh measurements, and I would spit out their power level, and it's like,
no, I'm not saying only that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, what is this a power or level of? Are we measuring like their ability to beat ass?
No, you're measuring power.
Okay,
the level of their power.
Because if that's it, then I mean, World's Strongest Man has got the highest power level.
No. He's got the highest strength level.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the highest power because he might not be able to fight.
I'm not just saying like muscle contractile force either, like, you know, whatever. I'm saying power level.
You know what I mean? See. I feel you.
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah, I put you at like 650.
Nuclear power.
Maybe 700.
So you think if I was jacked, I could be back up in the
you would
four
be
digits?
You would be at 1,000. I'd put you at 1,000.
So wait, what did you put Ryan at originally? 600?
Right now is like 650.
650. So Ryan could beat both you and me at the same time.
Obviously.
So that's 600.
Obviously.
No.
No.
I don't think that's how it works.
That's not how Dragon Ball Z worked.
Yeah.
No.
That's not Dragon Ball Z. No. The other thing too is, okay, so there's 2 factors to consider here. First off, it's like it's not just simple adding up.
Yeah.
First off, it'd be like the whole like you in a row versus John Jones. I feel like that was closer to it. You all at the same time rushing John Jones. You would kill John Jones. 5 of you rushing John Jones would easily kill John Jones.
That's what I'm saying.
If he had a knife and you were unarmed, 5 of you rushing one John Jones, you'd kill him.
There's so many levels to this because there's like, what kind of handicap is it for having testiculates? Because it's like if I'm a dude and I get kicked there, it doesn't matter if I'm a 17 billion. Like, I'm dead.
Superman's got his kryptonite.
True.
So that's your testicles.
If that's it,
but see, that's
do women inherently have an advantage with a lack of testiclite?
No, because the weakness of a testiclate is just averaged out across the whole woman. Okay, so women, I assume if you just kick a woman, they just die immediately.
I don't think that's how it works, dude.
I mean, I've seen.
I think the damage done.
Pretty intimidating women, but overall, it's like I think that most women. I'm pretty sure, like, okay, I don't know. This is probably just overconfidence, But if most dudes that I see in the street or just like whatever in the wilderness, I assume that I could kill them if I had to. If someone knew how to fight, I assume they would just destroy me. I mean, not every time, but like I think they would win most dust ups. I think like if somebody trained jiu-jitsu for 6 months, they would probably annihilate me. If it's a fight to the death, I don't know, because like you could be like vicious, you get lucky, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like most guys, I think whatever, like whoever the top MMA fighter, whoever the top jiu-jitsu gals are, probably kick my ass. But it's like there are some dudes who don't know how to fight who definitely would kick my ass.
Yeah.
The number of women who don't know how to fight who would kick my ass, close to zero. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is reminding me. Shaylee works with a bunch of dumbass
Oh, yeah.
dudes.
Yeah.
And one of them happens to be rather round.
Yeah.
And he's
Rotund.
Rotund.
He's a Kirby.
Dense.
The rotundra.
He's a Kobe.
A Kobe for sure. He like religiously preaches, I could beat every woman in the WNBA.
In basketball.
Nope.
And it's
Dude,
like
some of those women have to be like 3 times his height.
I think Shaylee says he's like 6 foot or 6'1" or something, and he's a fat ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me tell you something. There are women in the WNBA who are like 6'9".
Yeah.
What the freak are you gonna do against that, fatty?
Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
If we're playing if we're not playing like jungle ball, like if we're playing like ruled basketball.
So that's fair. I mean, that makes me revise my answer. There are I don't know. I can't say that I would just like beat the ass of like any woman who's trying to kill me who's 6'9".
Yeah.
But I just think that like if I'm just talking about like dudes that I come across in the wild, the dudes who I feel like naturally are going to have an advantage on me, it's like who don't know how to fight. And you don't always know just from looking at somebody, right? The dudes who are naturally going to have an advantage of me, I would say like, I don't know, like 1/3 or like 2/3, I'm pretty confident I could just lay them to waste. With women, it's more like 99 out of 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And part of that is just height, like average height. I'm not a real tall dude, but like most women are short.
Yeah. I just that dude always makes me giggle because I'm like, do you have any idea how dumb you sound?
Yeah.
Because we talked about it. He would not beat anybody in the WNBA. Deej and I wouldn't. We wouldn't beat anybody that's D1.
Yeah.
I told Deej the only thing I can think of is there's some junior college basketball women that I think me and Deej could beat.
We had. Are you good at basketball?
Yeah, Caden's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just really short, so that kind of sucked.
It's funny because we were having this argument, you and I, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we were arguing like the opposite points. Almost. Not exactly.
No, I remember that exact argument. My argument was that there's not a woman who could play in the NBA.
Yeah.
That's not to say that some fat ass dude can.
I didn't say that. Because I don't know. I'm not. My claim is not about the state of the NBA and like what's competitive in the NBA. My contention, which I thought that you disagreed with, and maybe we're just talking past each other, is I think like if you take the best 5 women in the WNBA and like the 5 worst dudes in the NBA, you can't say that the women wouldn't have a pretty good shot against them in 1-on-1.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You're saying that
we're still saying the same argument.
You're saying so you're saying the 5 worst dudes in the NBA.
Yes.
Would be the 5 best players.
The Bobby Swifts.
Yeah.
Robert Sacre.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He was a 7-foot scrub who's washed out of the league.
Yeah.
Okay, so take some dude. I mean, the worst dude the worst dude in the NBA is not even going to be a Robert Swift. There's got to be shorter people who also suck.
No, because if you're short and you suck, you just don't get in. The only way you get in is if you're really tall and you suck.
Okay, but I mean,
yeah,
there's some people who do well and then peter out. You know what I mean? There's some people who hit a ceiling, just can't progress.
Yeah.
Turns out they're lazy once they are out of like high school or college or whatever. And then you have like the best women in the NBA, and you have all the complexities of what can happen in a game. You're saying that the top women have zero chance against the bottom men in the NBA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I don't know, man.
I mean, if we're talking about like games to 21 100 times, it's like, yeah, they might win a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Excuse me.
But I'm saying that those 5 best women in the WNBA would not have any chance to make an NBA roster.
Yep.
That's my contention.
I mean, but making an NBA roster, that's different because that's making claims about like how the institutions function. That's a different world. If we're just talking about like, okay, hypothetically, let's say they opened up like a new league that was like you could join if you're a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know enough about the NBA to really say.
I think that if a league like that started and they said we can take from the pool is the entire world out of all 9 billion people, we are going to pick the 450 best basketball players to play in this league.
Yeah.
I don't think a woman makes the cut.
How many people are in the NBA?
450
people?
435-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, are there like Southeast Asian guys in the NBA?
No.
There's not a single one?
I mean,
like born
I don't know,
from Southeast Asia?
Of Southeast Asian descent.
The last Asian that was Jeremy Lin.
Yeah,
he's
Jeremy
not
Lin.
He's not in the league anymore.
I thought he's still on some fatty contract.
No, he plays in China.
Oh.
Okay, let me expand it then. Let me ask you this. What about if you're talking about like if you include like Europe and all these other like pro basketball leagues?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think women would be competitive in those either, or do you think that'd be a different situation?
I mean, it depends on how far down you go, because dudes in Europe are really talented too.
Yeah, like
a lot of the dudes in Europe could play in the NBA, but they want to stay in Europe.
And like the NBA is the most competitive league, though, right?
Yes,
by far.
Yes.
Okay.
But like Luka, he came from Giannis too.
Yeah, there's tons of international players who are very, very talented.
Yeah, but it's like,
but on average, the NBA is going to has way more talent. And I'm saying, I guess America has produced more basketball talent than any other country.
Also, most of the good people in these foreign leagues are only in it because they're foreign and they don't go to they didn't go to college, like they didn't go to the NCAA, because the rule is you have to do 1 year of college or 1 year pro. So if there's somebody like Luka who's super good in the NBA now, he was just doing that to get to the NBA.
Okay, wait. So Robert Swift was in the NBA.
Correct.
You're saying that he could beat literally every woman in the world in one-on-one?
I don't know about that.
There we go. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can. I'll agree with you there.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
And there are
they're trying to get
Robert
into
Swift.
the NBA.
No. I'm saying something a little different, right? I'm just saying, let's just talk about one-on-one for a sec.
No, yeah, I will agree 100%. Yeah, there are tons of women who can beat tons of men. One-on-one, for sure.
So what is it then that makes the roster different? Like, what is it that makes it different about qualifying for a roster?
I think a lot of it has to do with just the sheer physical, like athleticism. Because there are tons of dudes in the NBA who aren't necessarily the most skilled, but because they're freakishly athletic, there's plenty of use for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're
like, who's
really
an example of that?
Giannis.
No, because he's freakishly talented too. I'm talking like dudes like Shannon Brown wasn't very talented, but he could dunk from the free throw line, and he was like 6'1".
Yeah.
There's this dude. What's his name? Is it Gerald Green or Ricky? Gerald Green?
Yeah, Gerald Green.
Gerald Green.
The small forward?
No, the dude who was on the Rockets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's Gerald Green, I think is his name.
He's like a wing.
Yeah, he's short, but he can jump out of the freaking gym. And he doesn't score, but every once in a while he'll throw a windmill dunk from the 3-point line, and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
And
stuff like that.
And the athletic dudes can normally at least play, like, especially the small ones, can at least play defense. Because they're fast enough to just stick on somebody and just run around with them and then catch a lob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like that's a use. They might not be able to make a single shot, but they could lock up.
The problem is, one of the things that I would say is why I don't think women could play in the NBA is mostly because of the physical ability. Because I think that there may or may not be women that are as talented as men, that are as skilled, at least footwork, shooting, form, whatever. There's plenty of women who are just as skilled as men in that regard. But if you put that person up against somebody of equal skill and they just happen to be able to run 4 times faster and jump 30 inches higher, you're going to pick that person.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I mean, the other thing too, and this is like where I think where it also gets complicated is like, I mean, no one wants the NBA to be like hockey or something real physical like that.
Right.
But still, it just seems like a risk for people who are built smaller and slighter.
Yeah.
To be going up against gigantic people.
LeBron James.
I mean, I think naturally there's like an instinct to be like, this is not right. Men shouldn't be allowed to be this like physically imposing on women. And I agree with you there. But it's like, if we were to say like, yes, I mean, if we take that aspect away and it's like the women are just as tough or whatever you want to call it that makes men more manly or whatever the freak it is.
Yeah.
If we were to take that out of it, it's like I still think just because of just the athleticism, it makes it a lot harder.
I mean, I think like, well, obviously there are a lot more men playing basketball.
Right.
And so,
and that's the same thing like when you were like, are there any players from Southeast Asia? And it's like, well, basketball is a lot more popular in America than it is in a lot of other countries. So it's like, of course.
Yeah. And there are school programs, which means you get started younger doing it. Whereas like,
it's like Latin America has tons of soccer players because that's the sport that everybody plays. That's what they focus on.
And U.S. is kind of dog shit most years.
Yeah, and we suck at soccer, and we accept that, and we don't play it.
Yeah.
I remember
like the UK and India are playing cricket. And literally no one else in the world is competitive in cricket because everyone else knows that it's dog shite. Everyone else believes it to be a 6-legged animal that some tribes eat.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched a video once of a college basketball. I can't remember which school it was. It was like D3 or something. Like it wasn't like the world-renowned program by any stretch. Yeah. And it was the guys' basketball team playing the girls' basketball team. They were playing like a 3-on-3 after practice. Yeah. And it was like just embarrassing, like how little effort the dudes had to put in to be faster or to jump higher. You know what I mean? It's just like they're just like on cruise control. Yeah. And it's like testosterone's a crazy thing. Yeah. I mean, those women probably, they could, if they had wide open shots, they could shoot it just as well. However, they're trying to shoot over somebody who's 6 inches taller, who can jump 12 inches higher. But it just makes it really hard.
Yeah. Here's the thing that like, so I mean, it makes sense that, testosterone, it's used to like build muscle, obviously, and men tend to have it, quite a bit more of it. But then I think there's like just a lot about human performance that people just don't know. And I think like a lot of the claims that are made right now are based in ignorance about it and like what we know about the situation based on like what's worked so far, which has also been extremely narrow. Yeah. So it's like, for example, they did a study of, and I don't know, this could have been discredited or maybe I'm misunderstanding it. They did a study of elite level power lifters a few years ago and found that on average, not all of them, but on average they had lower than normal testosterone levels. That's a weird thing. Yeah. Okay. Especially because it's like you would think of all the sports like that powerlifting will be the one, maybe other than bodybuilding, that powerlifting would be the one sport where testosterone would be everything. Yeah. Because it's like testosterone, I mean, I've never heard anybody claim that it gives you fine motor control. Yeah. but it makes your muscles bigger and it makes you more aggressive or whatever.
Yeah.
And those are like muscles bigger is pretty much the game in powerlifting.
Yep.
That's the game. But all these dudes, so it's like, there could be confounding things. Maybe all these dudes are juicing.
That's what I was just about to ask you. Yeah. Are they just got off a cycle and now they dipped?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That could be it. But it's like little things like this are weird. Or it's
right.
like, you see like there are some studies showing that women tend to be able to do more volume work at an earlier stage than men. So it's like you take like a sedentary man and a sedentary woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to make more progress in like volume. And again, I could just be misremembering. It's not like I'm an expert in these things, but I've seen a few things, and also I've read enough to understand that like a lot of the underlying mechanisms behind these things are not well understood.
Yeah. Like
a lot of the science behind muscular development is pretty immature compared to other fields.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd have and that's like in something like muscular development is just like one very small facet of athletic performance.
Right.
So like you add up all these things and it's like, how much do we really know? And then on top of that, you have the fact that women just aren't playing as much. Like they're like female sports are just not as big of a thing. And whatever. So it's like, it's not like I don't believe that, that there could be differences between men and women in terms of athletic performance. I just think it's not as well understood as people think. And that's where I get like skeptical about hearing something like that, like the top 5 women in the world could not be as good as like the bottom 5 in the NBA, which like, again, like we're like, it's more complex, right? Because it's not like you can just say, oh, this person, because we don't have power levels in reality.
Right.
So you can't just like say, oh, okay, well, like this is how good someone is at basketball. So in some situations, like one-on-one, maybe they do well against against like somebody who just like is very unskilled, but whatever. The point is like, I'm willing to accept that it's that those differences exist.
Yeah.
I just think they're like, I'm just skeptical about them. I'm just skeptical about how well that would generalize if the training was the same, if the participation was the same. You know
what's strange is I believe that, like you were saying, I think that the 5 best WNBA players couldn't beat the 5 worst NBA players if they were playing 5-on-5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Mm-hmm. However, the sport that I think that would be the closest in are like combat sports.
Really?
Which is really strange because I don't ever want to see dudes beating up girls. I just don't. Mm-hmm. But if you were to put the best female MMA fighter against some some very low, like in the UFC, for example, they also have like 400 to 500 fighters on their roster.
Uh-huh.
The women's champion, Amanda Nunes, is freaking insane. And I'm 100% certain that she could at least beat 25% of the dudes in her same weight class. Because she's just that insane. I'm dead serious.
She's wild.
And I don't know why I believe it in combat sports more than others. I don't know if it's because jiu-jitsu is kind of like it kind of levels the playing field a bit regardless of how big you are.
Yeah.
And weight class. I think that helps.
Yeah. But the guys definitely get bigger after the weigh-in than the girls do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, still, just having said that, I really think that having watched what some of these female MMA fighters do, it's like, she'd kick tons of dudes' asses.
That's a huge proportion, 25%.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Like, have you heard of CM Punk, the wrestler?
No.
I had never heard of him either, but I guess he was a famous WWE wrestler whose dream was to fight in MMA, a la Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
However, he had no wrestling training like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And he's small. He's like a 40-year-old dude.
Hell yeah.
He's like flabby. Like he's not like.
What's his name? SE Cup?
CM Punk.
CM Punk?
Yeah.
I think SE Cup is anyway.
He's just not very athletic looking. and he's old, so he's probably past his athletic prime.
Yeah.
And 100%. He fought at like 170, I think, or 170 or 185.
Yeah.
And that girl who fights at 145, I'm certain would kick his ass.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I mean, and the dudes that he was fighting against, there were dudes in the UFC that he's fighting against that were fairly competitive fights. He fought like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was being blown out of the water by these guys. So it's like, there's at least 2 guys right there that just suck. And this girl could definitely beat them up.
Okay. Well, I guess okay. But, so would you say then that that's more to do with the nature of the sport, or would you say that's more to do with the nature of the league? Like, is that more to do with
I think it's more to do with the sport and like the skill set.
And is that the nature of the sport or how mature it is? Right? Because it's like people have been playing NBA for 100 years. People have been fighting for thousands, but people have only been doing MMA like for like 20, 30, where it's like a bigger thing.
I don't know. I think that because I think MMA has like a broader skill set. And because there's so many different like facets to it, and there are so many different threats that you have to be able to defend or attack with. Yeah, I think that kind of levels it a bit. Like in the NBA, it's like if you're faster, you just run past them and you dunk.
But that's the thing. I mean, you know a lot more about both the UFC and about the NBA than I do. But if I try to, I mean, the jiu-jitsu piece, on some level, that's just like knowledge. Right. And like practice of like understand. It's like more like
it's like physical chess.
Right. Exactly. It's like chess. So it's like obviously there are a lot of women who can just like that's not whatever. Right. But it seems like in a lot of ways, like shooting a basketball certainly takes strength. And being able to shoot it from far away takes strength. Yeah. And having a lot of strength is going to make it so that you can. Your body's taxed less for like working on that fine muscle control to be able to shoot accurately. But overall, it's like I would say that shooting a basketball, shooting like a decent 3-pointer, like if you take the same dude and add like make him twice as strong, but whatever, it's not going to massively improve his ability to shoot a 3-pointer. No, I agree. However, if you have a dude who's twice as strong fight another dude, like the same dude who's not twice as strong, he'll just blow him through the wall. It'll break his jaw in half.
I don't know, because there's been tons of MMA fights, especially in earlier MMA, where it was open weight. And you'd have this dude who's a 285-pound sumo wrestler who's, a semi-pro boxer fighting against a dude who's 125 pounds, and that dude will attempt to rip his arm off, and then the fat guy taps out.
Yeah, that's like in 1980. It's like some
this is like early 2000s.
Okay, still, I'm just saying, like, if you had open weight classes today, do you really think there are any middleweights who are beating any heavyweights?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
100%.
That's very surprising to me.
And maybe it's just because, like I said, I think it's the skill set is just so broad.
Yeah.
That,
and I'm not saying middleweights who are MMA fighters. I'm saying like any middleweights beating the top heavyweights.
No.
Okay.
I mean, similarly trained, like if they're at the same level of training and they both have 5 years, then
I'm just saying, like, if you're if you're a scrub, if you're a regular person fighting a regular person, things can happen.
But if things can always happen. If you're counting me as a middleweight because I happen to weigh in the middleweight range and I'm fighting a heavyweight champion, no, I'm going to get my ass kicked every time.
Of course. But I'm saying, are there any middleweights who can beat the heavyweight champion right now?
Yes. I would say yes.
Damn.
Mostly, I mean, it's a fight. It's like, even like every time you watch a fight, it's like, this dude's going to kill him. Yeah. And then all of a sudden that dude's knocked unconscious. And it's like stuff happens in fights. Yeah. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Sure. That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sense. There's so many different things. And it's like some people can take punches better than others. And that has nothing to do with strength. That has nothing to do with...
And I guess that's borne out by the huge range that's permitted in the heavyweight class.
Yeah, they got 60 pounds.
And it's like, it's not like everybody who's winning is at the very top of the heavyweight class.
Right, most of them are usually in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. But then, I mean, in basketball, yes, 100%. If we're doing like a 3-point shootout or we're doing a free throw contest or something like that, I think that's a fairly even playing field.
Yeah.
But if it's like a one-on-one,
yeah,
it's like I don't think it happens because of those athletic differences. The dude can move faster, jump higher, and even like strength to some degree.
Yeah.
I mean, basketball's not a super physical sport.
But it matters.
But if I back you down till I'm
Right.
2 feet away from the hoop and you try to do that to me and I'm much stronger, I'm not moving.
It's like watching
weight
LeBron.
classes in basketball.
Yeah, they should.
Dude, I wish they had height classes in basketball.
That'd be sweet.
That would be so badass.
Because like in Europe, they have age groups.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, they're like, this is the U18 league, so it's everybody who's under 18.
Mm-hmm.
What if they did that and they were like, this is the U6 foot league?
Dude, I want skill. I want skill classes.
Yeah.
I want to go do MMA fights against other dudes who don't know how to fight. I would kick ass against dudes who are in bad shape and don't know how to fight.
It'd just be hard though, trying to like get people into that class.
Obviously.
How to classify people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, can you like sneak into one of these classes, some dude who's like secretly a black belt?
Yeah.
You just pretend to be an idiot and then you're beating up on people?
Immediately when I thought of it, I'm like, how could I secretly train to be a black belt so I could just demolish everybody else in that class?
Yeah. That's why you need scouters.
This guy has
just be power levels.
This guy has never trained a single day in his life.
Yeah.
But he's the undefeated grand champion. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy, and it's like as I've been thinking about it here, and like it's so weird to me. Like, why do I believe this? But I'm like, yeah, that's the most physical sport there is, where you'd think that you know, being bigger and stronger would play the most different, but or make the most difference.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, these women. There's a ton of women MMA fighters who are just freaking ferocious, and they want to eat your heart.
Yeah.
Praise be to Allah.
Dude, all the time though, I think like back on like the skill level classes thing or like training level classes, I think all the time that like this is just me being insane or not having a realistic sense of who I am. Like all the time I think like, oh yeah, like I'm probably, in terms of people who like have never trained in like sailing, I'm probably one of the top 5 sailors. just
pulling
in terms
that
of
stat out of your
natural
ass.
ability. Or it's like in terms of like I don't know, like throwing javelins.
In terms of like pastry chefs, I'm top
Pastry
tier.
chefs who have never learned how to do a pastry.
Yeah.
I'm
First
the best
place.
of the best. First place. I just have so much natural ability.
Yeah.
Did you never do the small boat sailing thing?
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh,
I was the sheet.
were you really?
Yeah, dude.
First place?
I was the first place in the whole lake. I was the only guy out there, but that's all I did, dude. It was Camp Kern. Austin's off making money. He's making like $100 a month.
$40 a week.
So it's like
$80 a week. What did I make? It
I
was
don't know.
$80 a week my first year.
It wasn't much.
That was the first year because it's like illegal to have 14-year-old slaves at your Boy Scout camp.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then when you're 15, they pay you real money.
So it's like you're out there making no money.
Peanuts.
Okay, I've been bored off my ass just like playing Metal Gear Solid for 6 weeks. And then finally I get there and it's like, well, obviously you've got work to do and shit like that. So it's like when we hang out, I'm hanging out. When I'm not hanging out, I just went sailing.
Yeah.
I just went sailing for like 4 hours a day.
Tell you what, dude, those guys pay me like $150 a week or whatever, but I probably shot through like $4,000 a week in bullets because I was getting my money's worth out of that.
That's true. I did a fair amount of shooting, but then it's like I didn't want to hang out with anybody. I just wanted to sail, dude.
And sail the lake. Dude, sailing's fun.
I did like 3 different. I did as much as I could in metalworking. Because I was like, are they going to teach how to blacksmith and shit?
No.
And then it was like, nope, it's just whacking a tin.
Yep.
And it's like, I can whack tin at home. And so then I just went sailing.
Yep.
And it's like, I already have 18,000 merit badges.
Yeah.
Might as well just sail.
Shout out to the Boy Scouts. I hope they're abolished in the next few years.
Yeah.
Dude, I hope every Boy Scout dies.
I think they're going under, right?
They've got to be.
Yeah.
I thought I
Especially
heard
the Mormon
or
church
read
pulled
something.
out. That had to have been at least
Oh, they're
75%
done,
of their freaking donations.
I thought I like saw or read or heard something about like them going out.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember like as a kid hearing like, okay, well, if you're an Eagle Scout, trust me, like people know that
You'll get job
significant.
opportunities.
You'll get job
Women will be
opportunities.
throwing themselves at you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll be automatically put into the top tier of the
It's like
power levels.
Dude, if I was, as a grown-ass man, if I'm looking at a resume and someone includes Eagle Scout on their resume,
throw that shite away.
I'm like, throw that shit away. This guy
instantly. Yep, same.
Like, what kind of person is advertising that about themselves as a
do that too.
grown man?
Yep, I would do that too.
All right, if you're 14 years old,
yep,
whatever. You don't know anything about how the world works anyway.
It's like, that's an accomplishment for children under 18.
For sure, yeah.
But then after that, it's like, I leave childish pursuits at home.
Dude, it's like, I would, if knowing nothing about somebody, just knowing that they like survived a month in retail.
Yeah.
Oh, that person has so much more real world experience that's
for sure
applicable to any job.
This is like, I had the same conversation with my parents not too long ago because I was like, all the dumb crap that you guys made me do, like Boy Scouts, you're like, you got to get your Eagle Scout. And I'm like, I mean, I don't care about this at all. Yeah. And then they're like, you'll be glad you did when you look back as an adult. And I'm like, nope. I don't. And there's so much crap like that. And I was telling them, I'm like, dude, when this baby gets old enough, and she's like, Dad, I don't want to do this. I'm going to be like, then don't.
Freaking real.
You know what I mean? It's like, why am I going to force you to waste your time in doing something you hate? I mean, I guess there are times as a parent where you need to make your kid do stuff that it's like, listen, you need to learn how to overcome or learn that you can do hard things. Even if you don't want to, you need to learn that like you have the ability to succeed, whatever that is.
I mean,
however, if
teach them they can do hard things, don't teach them they have to do gay things.
Right. If my kid is like, if my kid's like, yo, at church they want to make us go on a 75-mile hike. And my kid's like, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, I don't want to do that either. So yeah, sit this one out.
Yeah.
I don't get it. My parents were like, yeah, you got to go.
Nah, man.
No, it's important that you go. And I'm like, what the freak for? To learn that I hate hiking? I already know that.
Trying sucks, man. Just embrace the fatal nature of life.
I feel like this is the same argument that like whoever the idiots are that are running colleges,
dude,
they do. They're like, oh, you got to take the general ed so that you can learn what it is that you want to do. And it's like, when I got to college, I knew for certain I didn't want to do any like,
dude,
humanities.
Humanities. Any like geothermal excavation science. Like I didn't care to do any of that. But for some reason, those were parts of my undergrad general education.
Truth be told, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I certainly don't want to like write essays.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, dude, there's just so much crap like that. It's like,
yeah,
you can't use your calculator because I'll never let you use your calculator. And it's like, as an adult, if one of my employees was like trying to add some shite up that mattered at all, and they were just doing it in their head or on a paper, a piece of paper with a pencil,
a slide rule,
fire that person immediately.
I'd be like, put this into something a little bit more reliable.
Write that dude up.
Yeah, for sure.
If you use,
can you imagine erecting a skyscraper off of some dude's freaking pencil and paper math?
For freaking real.
You know what I mean? Like
this long
dude's
division.
Like, yeah, I think this will work. Carry the 3, and we're good for 100 stories. No, I'm not going near that place.
The right answer, if you have like real like adult math, if you were teaching kids adult math, like they're like come up to the board and show everybody how to do this problem. The right answer is little Billy comes up, takes out his phone, puts the numbers in, writes the answer on the board.
Yep.
That's it. And then I dock him 10 points for writing on the board instead of emailing me.
Yeah. Or texting.
It's like, this is so impermanent.
Tweet me.
Yeah, tweet.
For freaking real.
Hashtag
DM me, bro.
School answer.
Yeah.
It's like, show your work. I don't give a shit about your work. All I want to know is it gets done.
Dude, that's what used to piss me off the most.
You got there.
I would get marked down on math tests all the time because it would be like, what's 4 plus 4? And I'd write 8 because I know it's 8. And then they'd be like, you only got a quarter of that point for that problem because you didn't show me how you got 8. And it's like, why the freak do you care?
How do I show that? I know that 4 plus 4 is 8. How do you show?
That's what I'm saying. It'd be stuff like
draw like 8 lines.
Yeah. You draw 4 lines,
an arrow at
4 more.
And then point an arrow at it and says, count that. Bish. And then also on top of that, I never really cheated as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I was so self-confident that I would be better at getting the answers than any of my classmates.
Yeah.
However, if someone's good at cheating,
Yeah.
let them cheat. How much of adult life is not just cheating off of other people's tests?
You're cheating off Excel.
Yeah, it's for freaking right. Cheating
can
off Excel. You're just
Google
Googling shit.
Yeah.
That's all. That's literally what it means to be a professional. Nowadays, it's like, how do I blah 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 blah, and then you see the answer. If you can get the right answer, that's the skill.
See what's weird?
You got to get good at Googling.
I don't know why we don't just like let's just shut down like 90% of colleges, because seriously, for 90% of the people, the only the college should be the employer is like, we are signing you to a 4-year contract where we will train you to do whatever we want for the first year, and then you pay us back over the next 3 years by actually working for us. Why the freak am I paying to go learn something that I'm going to forget by the time I actually work with it?
And you're not even going to use it.
Yeah.
How many times have you used humanities at your job?
Not once, not never.
And
but you paid for that class.
Yeah.
And the people who are teaching it are not the people who are making it in the field.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most of them are career teachers.
It's some hippie.
Yeah.
It's like some hippie knows thermonuclear engineering better than a thermonuclear engineer.
Yeah.
But then it's not like most companies do a good job of training. Honestly, the best way to learn something is like you're given some task
and you figure it out.
And you figure it out on your own. But like you're like sitting around and you're like, what the hell does that even? Oh, okay. Maybe you ask some dude. He's like, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, I guess that kind of makes sense. You lie. It doesn't make sense. You Google it and you're like, oh, actually, that does kind of make sense.
Yeah.
You do it. It works somehow. After you've done it for 5 times, you understand it.
Yeah.
That's how you learn everything in life.
That reminds me. This is how I learned Spanish. So I took Spanish all through high school, and I had a fairly decent foundation. And then I went out on my mission, and I was like a transfer and a half in, and I got moved, and I got a new companion. And I remember I got there, and he'd been out, I think, like 18 months. Like he was on his last legs, right? And he's like, dude, I heard you got really good Spanish. I'm like, dude, I've been here 6 weeks, bruv. And he's like, no, dude, everybody, you know all these slang words and stuff, and you're really good. And then I was like, shit, yeah, I know Spanish. And that was how I learnred Spanish.
Yeah.
That was it.
You just decided.
I just decided.
Yeah.
There was no new words that I learned. It was just seriously, and I don't know if school needs to just instill confidence. That's the only thing that there is. But this dude was like, yeah, dude, you're really good at Spanish. I was like, hell yeah, I am. And that was it. And then I knew Spanish.
I was trying to give Susan lessons in stealing stuff because she's a woosie. And so like we were staying at a hotel once and she's like, oh, I really want a towel off that cart. And I was like, okay, just go grab it.
That's not stealing.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm saying this is the level of the woositude.
Wow.
And so I don't remember.
Does she not like getting the water out of the sink because she's stealing that too?
Pretty much. And so like,
don't turn on the faucet.
Well, like it's like we were leaving this one hotel and she really liked the soap and she's like, what if we took some soap to take home? And like she was like giggling and like shaking just from me going down the hallway, picking up 6 soaps and then walking back.
What the freak?
And it's like, okay, part of it is just like you just have to like roll with it.
Yeah.
You know, just do it. But then it's like if I get caught or whatever, if like the maid or whatever is like, hey, what are you doing? My answer would be, I'm taking soap.
Taking some soap.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen there?
Yeah.
Don't. Okay. And then I just walk away with the soap. You know what I mean?
Listen, the room rate has baked in all the costs of shite that people steal because they understand towels, pillows, soaps, all of this is going to go missing. Because you cannot, there's no way that you can believe that it really costs this hotel $100 to have somebody come in and change the sheets after you're done.
Yep.
Because that's what they're charging you.
Exactly.
And that's all that is the shampoo and shite that you stole from the cart while the cleaning lady was cleaning your neighbor's room.
Sure. I'm already the person driving up the cost for everybody else. You might as well take advantage of the window that I've created.
Yeah.
Ryan is
it's on me.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Right.
Ryan created hotel inflation.
Yeah.
Yep. It's stuff like that where it's like, she was like, oh man, because we had grandma's funeral this weekend. We're trying to put together like flower bundles.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, they had like flower buckets that they use for shipping at the store. And like, I didn't know, like I was going to ask them for one, but I'm sure it's like, they're not for sale. I was like, should I just take one? I was like, how? And so I was like, maybe I should just check out and then like I'll just like grab one on the way out. And I was like, no, that's the only time when they're actually watching you. If you do that, it's gonna, and you're all like nervous and shite. You're like looking behind you, like, bye. First off, no one's gonna chase you down.
Yeah.
But okay, if they did, again, you can always just be like, oh, sorry, does this cost anything at all?
That's what's funny is like,
but beyond that, it's like, dude, if you just pick up a flour bucket, tuck it under your arm, and go up to the register, pay for everything else, and walk out with it,
be free.
No one's gonna ask you about it.
Yeah.
99 out of 100 times, they're just gonna let you roll with that thing, just because you seem like, oh, it seems like he's supposed to have it under his arm.
Yeah. It's like what's weird about like people doing like these, you know, like if they're worried about like somebody coming chasing them down, being like, you didn't pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny to me is it's like, dude, if somebody was like stealing every cent that Goldman Sachs has,
Yeah.
I wouldn't try and stop them.
For freaking
That's
real.
not my
dude.
money.
Yeah.
If I work at Walmart, that's not my Mountain Dew. Like if somebody stole it, I'd be like, well, sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
Like you're out a bunch of money. It's like,
Yeah. Rip.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Rip Walton.
it bothers me. Like I don't personally like the idea of stealing because I feel like it's freaking wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me uncomfortable to think about a situation where I might like accidentally steal, like in the real sense of like real stealing, like walking out of a store without paying for something.
Yeah.
But having said that, if I was working there, I'd be like, this isn't mine. I don't care if anybody steals.
I don't care.
But steal.
Barnes.
I don't think that like stealing from Target or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any moral calculus there. It's just like, can you get away with it? And I don't know that I could for anything that I'd actually care to steal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, I kind of like earning as much as I can.
Yeah.
The stuff in my life because it feels good.
Yeah.
And I don't really want that much in life. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's like, as long as I have food, you can't really steal multiple restaurant visits.
Yeah. Well, you dine and dash.
You can dine and dash like once or twice before they're just going to be like, nah, get out of here.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's nothing that I really want to steal. I would feel extremely bad about like stealing something from like a neighbor, even though I never interact with that person.
Yeah.
That seems bad to me. But it's like, okay, either it already is figured into their actuarial tables.
Yep.
Like if you're talking about Target, or if it's bigger than that, if it's bigger than their shrink, it's insured.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, if you're talking about somebody like I wouldn't do this, but if somebody puts a pen in their pocket, forgets about it, walks out the store, okay, that made zero difference to Target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If my advice to anybody who accidentally takes more from the store than they realized, don't go back and like pay for it. Just keep it. Because it's like you're not doing anybody, any human being, any good by going back there. And doing that. If it makes you feel better, knock yourself out.
Right.
If there's a person that like you owe something to, you got to make sure to make that right.
Yeah.
That's important. That might make a difference in their life. It might make a difference in your relationship with them.
Right.
It's also important for your own integrity. But like you're responsible for the like effect of your actions on the world. And stealing from Target has basically zero effect on the world.
Yeah.
Or Target.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It has basically zero effect on anybody.
It's like those people who like, you know, for political reasons will be like, I'm not shopping at Walmart anymore. It's like, you think this $1 billion company gives a damn if you buy your groceries there?
You have to, you know how many people you'd have to convince before they would even notice?
The whole freaking world. That's how much.
Like if the city of Rexburg stopped shopping at Walmart.
Yeah.
They shut that location.
Yeah,
that location would notice.
Yeah, but
no one else
Walmart
would
as a company
can dust their hands and be like, this town sucked anyway. Bye.
Yep.
Yeah, like
yeah.
It's just so funny to me when people do that. Where they're like, well, because Chick-fil-A is Christian, I'm not eating there anymore. And
I
it's
will
like,
never buy one of your DVDs again.
Yeah, it's just like, what difference do you think you're making other than hurting yourself? You're the only person
depriving yourself of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, you're the only person. Like you're depriving yourself of cheap groceries. That's what you're doing by striking Walmart.
Dude, that's another argument that I was having with Susan this weekend. Was like, because she was like, I can't remember what. Oh, it was Hobby Lobby. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, what are we going to? Because I was saying that the rugs we got for the recording studio. Mm-hmm. I was like, we're going to Hobby Lobby to get them.
Hooby Looby.
Because they were living right behind there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And she's like, oh, I will never support Hobby Lobby.
Why?
I don't know. They did some dumb crap. And I was like, oh, you're drinking Coke? All right, cool. Just checking. It was in a very condescending way. Because, like, Coke freaking hired death squads to, like, kill babies in the freaking Amazon. Yeah. And it's like they routinely just, like, do horrible, heinous things all around the world. And that's why my moral approach to things is...
not give enough.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just contribute to the world being a worse place in a small way. Just...
do your part.
Don't...
everybody do your part.
Live a little, lie a little, steal a little, dig a pit for thy neighbor. It'll be well with you in the last day. God will beat us with a few stripes. It'll all be good.
Yeah.
That's actually in the scriptures.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Word for word.
Almost.
Yeah. Fetus.
I don't know. I don't get really any of it when people are like, vote with your money.
No, that's such bullshit, dude.
Yeah, when they're like, yeah, dude, your wallet money talks and stuff. Mm-hmm. Show them how it talked by not paying for their things. And it's
so
like,
dumb.
They don't care.
Yeah, dude.
It's like boycotting Apple. You think this $1 trillion company cares if you didn't buy the latest iPhone because you didn't like what they did? That made
on a smaller
zero
scale.
difference.
Like on this freaking podcast.
Yeah.
If you're like, these guys suck ass, I'm not paying them. Don't pay me.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want you to pay me and be like, yo, this content sucks, dude.
For freaking real, dude.
And don't pay for it. Pirate it. Pirate it because it's free, and you can't really pirate things that are free because it's just out there.
Streamers talk about that a lot too.
What?
Just how like people will like subscribe to them and be like, oh, like I can't believe you don't play this game anymore. Like you're such a sellout for playing this game. And he's like, dog, I have 50,000 other $5 subscribers. Feel free to unsubscribe. Like it does not matter.
Yeah.
To me, like unsubscribe, do whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
However, there is a point at which voting with your wallet does matter if your wallet's big enough. If someone gave me $50,000 a month, I would do a podcast about freaking anything.
I would endorse lima beans if you gave me 50 grand for it.
100%. I do a podcast about lima beans.
Would you
create lima bean only content.
What about boiled spinach?
Hell yeah, I'd eat boiled spinach.
I eat boiled spinach for $50.
I'd eat... I mean, in a repeated sense, maybe. Yeah. It depends, but like one time, it's like I can live without that one.
Like if they gave you 50 G's a month to eat boiled spinach once a week.
Hell yeah, dude, I'd say it's my favorite food. Are you kidding? It would become my favorite food.
Yeah.
It'd be Popeye.
For real would.
Every time I'm like, damn, this is...
I get 50 grand every time I eat this. I can eat this more often.
Yep, this can is making me $12,500.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Freaking kidding me? Yeah. But all right. Well,
your company name here, like, we're available for sponsorships.
Sponsor this,
dude. I keep thinking like, I've really got to reach out to like different companies, just saying, hey, pay us $5. We'll shout you out on the podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I think is sweet? We need to start selling free sponsorships.
That's true.
I think that'd be freaking
hilarious. To get our foot in the door.
Yeah, just like, yo, shout out Target on North University Avenue. Because
you're not saying that we're like, yeah, we'll just like do it, and they'll be like, hey, we've already been doing advertising.
No, I mean like they come to us and they'd be like, hey, will you do this for free? I'd be like, yeah, I mean, why not?
All right. I bet you we could find some business out there who would take us up on that.
Well, I don't want a real business. I just want like just somebody cool.
Target on 5th Street is not cool.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I don't really want it to be like if it was just like, my neighbor's got a T-shirt kiosk in the mall. I'd be like, yeah,
hell yeah,
free
advertisement. Me? No doubt, I would do that.
Or if it's like,
what about that guy that gave you his rap CD in New York?
No, I'm not endorsing that dude because that thing had no music on it.
Really?
Yeah, when I was in New York, he was like, "Yo, buy my mixtape." I was like, "Hell yeah, brother!"
Hell yeah, dude.
I dropped $15 on it.
Mm-hmm.
I came home and it was like write protected. It had a password on it or something.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, you earned every one of those dollars, all
That's
15 of them.
Sweet, dude.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not even mad at you, man.
Yeah, I've been thinking. Yeah, that's freaking sweet. We need to find sponsors. I've been like, I think even if especially if we made like no money from the sponsors.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be good to do. It'd be just cool. I kind of want to do everything that a podcast, like a big podcast does.
Yeah.
But do the suck version of it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you go to like Liberty High School and there's like CER equipment rentals and they've got a sign up there.
Yeah, dude.
I want those signs.
Yeah, dude.
But I don't want them people to pay me.
Yeah.
I just want a collection of signs up there and it's like these people sponsor our podcast. What is a sponsor? Nobody freaking knows. They don't do anything.
That's freaking sweet, dude. That's a great example of like a great sponsor for us is like tractor rental.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What the freak do I know about renting tractors?
And no one's going to rent a tractor from listening to this.
For freaking real.
How many people are in the business of needing to rent a tractor anyway?
I don't know, but I'd shout them out.
100%.
For $0.
You got to find like
Jeremy.
the least useful businesses.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny because it's like, what did those companies have to do to get their sign there? Because if it was more than nothing, they wasted their time.
In fact, on some level, it's like the ad reads, they always bother me. I don't really listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
But when they do an ad read and it's like they take a minute out of the podcast, I'm tempted to just like turn it off.
Yeah.
If they make it funny or something, then whatever.
Yeah.
Or if I really want to hear the thing, then whatever. But dude, if like some like tractor rental place send us like a 1.5 minute long thing to read for free, I'd do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need to do some kind of subliminal marketing where like every other word we say like tractor.
Kill yourself.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden John Deere sponsoring us.
That's what I was going to say. You guys should do
John Deere.
Once you get the like live stream or like video, once we get video set up, just do like a Truman Show advertisement where it's like, dang,
Mococo.
It's like, I'm so glad we're talking and I can hear you through these Sony headphones. And then it's like, that's the sponsorship.
Yep.
Dude, remember how there used to be John Deere tractor ads on TV?
No.
Yeah.
There did.
Word?
Yeah, I think back in the 90s.
There still are.
Why? I remember there used to be ads for General Electric.
It was like, there's ads for Caterpillar.
It's like,
listen, dude, if you're in the market,
people are reaching out.
If you're in the market for a 30-ton crane, you don't need to.
I was watching
turn on the TV.
Bugs Bunny and saw this Caterpillar ad.
Yeah. And so I rented a industrial drill. I can drill now to 2,000 feet.
Thanks, Bugs.
Seriously.
Damn.
I think there was some tractor ad that Tim the Tap Man was in for the Super Bowl.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What? That's weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's like supposed to be prime time, like the best of the best.
That's what I want more than anything. Is it's like I want people to be able to call me a sellout because they see me like.
Yeah, I want to sell out for free.
Yeah, but if they're like, dude, Austin's a sellout. He used to have a cool podcast. Now every episode he's selling like inflatable tires, like the ones you put inside your freaking tire on your bike, the inner tube.
Dude, we should straight up just do classified ads, you know? How they used to write into newspapers?
Yeah.
And it's like, we'll just put whatever shite in there.
Yeah.
Dude, if you send us an email at rosedaliapodcast@gmail.com, we'll say anything.
Make that email account.
I already did.
Oh, word?
rosedaliapodcast@gmail.com.
There it is.
Send us an email. We'll say anything.
Suggestions, comments, the tip line, all of that email through there.
Write in like an entire phone sex dialogue.
Next week's episode, we're gonna do Q&A through the email account.
If it takes us an hour and a half to get through the email reads, whatever. That's the new podcast. Yeah. We just read emails now on air.
Except, are you still gonna do? What if like Shaq shills an email to you? Are you gonna do that one?
100%. I'll give Microsoft free advertising.
Yeah.
You know how great that's going to be for my career? If like on my resume, right underneath like Eagle Scout, I'm able to put
Microsoft brand ambassador.
Microsoft brand ambassador on my extremely cool and successful podcast.
Yeah.
We have over 9 paying subscribers.
Yeah.
Actually, we have greater than or equal to 9 paying subscribers.
I know you said we have more than. I was like, more than 9. That was a very specific number. There's no way it's more than 9.
Yeah. All right, Caden, get ready to play us out.
All right.
I'm trying a new thing. I did it last week. I'm probably going to do it in the morning if I wake up in time and remember. I probably will wake up in time. I may not remember. I'm doing a read the news in the morning.
Oh, hold on. Before you play us out, Jeremy's texting me. He says, we're going to get a new dining room set. Do you want our old set for the podcast in the basement? We just got a table.
Hell yeah, dude.
Podcast is moving on up.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Free advertisements.
Is that really Jeremy?
Free tables.
I thought that wasn't confirmed.
Oh, I don't think it is.
Oh.
I don't know who Jeremy is.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the kind of free advertisement we'll take, like tables.
Anything, dude. Yeah, I've been doing it an hour in the morning. Got a few viewers last time. I'm going to be doing it maybe on Twitch, maybe on YouTube. You kind of have to hunt for it. That's part of the fun. Okay?
Hide and seek.
It's a live stream. Get on there. You can ask me what I think about things. The main topic people asked about last time was the Super Bowl or whatever, or something about sports. I don't know.
Do you do this like in your robe, or do you put on clothes?
Nah, I put on clothes.
Oh, okay.
You should do it in the robe.
I might do it in the robe.
We are the woke cast. You should do it from bed.
Yeah.
Like you
That
just
actually would be
awoken.
pretty good.
The woke cast.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
Yeah.
good morning.
Yeah. With my with a cup
Just
of
have
cocoa.
Yeah.
a lot of some streamers stream themselves sleeping.
That's gross, dude.
You should do that.
That's weird as freak.
I don't like that.
Like that's how like this dude
Yeah.
who just broke the world record for
Uh-huh.
like longest continual stream.
How long was it?
I mean, it's still going. I think he's at like 1,200 hours or something.
Gross.
But yeah, some of
Does
it's
he
him
like take his
sleeping.
camera with him outside, or does he just not leave his
Yeah.
house?
Yeah, he like went grocery shopping and he was like just vlogging the whole thing.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it in the mornings. When I think about it. So if you're up, it's like 8 or 9. You're like, damn, I'd really like to know what the headlines are. Then you can tune in. The catch is it's an anti-information stream, so we don't read any of the content of the articles, only the headlines, and try to infer what's going on in the world
Hell yeah.
just by what's going on there.
You can find him at twitch.tv/Captain Lular.
Or if you just search in YouTube for Rosedalia Podcast,
Mm-hmm.
probably going to be streaming there tomorrow and whenever. All right. Anything else?
Hello, my baby.
Very good.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart.